So after my little promotion ceremony in front of all those generals who were giving me the stink eye, General Fu Yud pulls me aside for a private chat. And bless this man. He's trying to warn me without actually saying anything. Just hitting me with that cryptic, "Be careful in the army, General Zhu." Energy like a fortune cookie with PTSD. And I'm standing there nodding like, "Oh, whatever do you mean, sir?" while fully understanding that the Emperor just painted a giant target on my back. After I leave, I can literally hear Fu Yud muttering about Huaishi, Huaishi, like it's some cursed word. The man is having a whole existential crisis behind me. Walking back to camp, my brain is doing the math. The Emperor didn't just promote me because I'm awesome. I mean, I am awesome, but he's using me as a stick to beat the Huaishi generals with. He basically went, "Look at this young guy who's better than all of you old guard losers," and shoved me right into the spotlight. I'm a political chess piece, and I didn't even apply for the position. But you know what? Bring it. These Huaishi tough guys think they're scary? According to history, Zhu Yuanzhang is gonna butcher every last one of them eventually anyway. They're literally grasshoppers after autumn, hopping around all tough while their expiration date is already printed on their foreheads. And even if they tried something now, my maxed out stats say I could fight through an entire army solo. Come at me. I get back to camp and my boys are already up sharpening swords and fixing arrows even though they got time off. That's the energy I'm talking about. They see me and start crowding around going, "Commander! Commander!" And Lu Lei is grinning like a maniac going, "Guys, you can't call him commander anymore." Zhang Wu nearly jumps out of his armor. Did he get promoted? I drop it casual. Emperor promoted me to regional military commissioner, gave me command of 10,000 troops, and threw in a noble title. County Baron. No big deal. The noise these men made. You'd think they won the lottery. They're all yelling congratulations and going, "You deserve it. General, you're always charging in first. You earned every bit of this." I'm standing here like a proud dad at a school play except my kids are 3,000 battle-hardened soldiers. Then I tell them their own rewards are coming in a day or two, and suddenly the mood shifts. Wei Quan steps forward and drops to his knees with this dead serious face. I'm like, "Bro, what are you doing?" This man looks me in the eyes and says, "General, please don't abandon us old brothers. I've been in the army 10 years, and you're the only commander I'd follow. If I can fight under you until I die, I'll have zero regrets." And then Zhang Wu, Zhuang Wei, and Luo Hua, all three captains, hit the ground too. "We swear to follow the general to the death. Please don't leave US." And then, I kid you not, all 3,000 soldiers kneel at the same time. Like someone hit a button. 3,000 voices screaming in perfect unison. "Swear to follow the general to the death." My heart is doing things right now. These guys have only been with me for 3 months, but every single one of them is ride or die because I never left a man behind. I charged first into every battle, and I personally blocked arrows and blades for them. Apparently, that's all it takes to build an army of fanatics. Who knew? I'm genuinely moved, but I play it cool. Who said I'm leaving you idiots? I got promoted, but I'm still your commanding officer. And we're keeping all those Mongol warhorses we captured. Fu Yud ordered it. We're building the first full cavalry battalion in Daning. 10,000 horsemen. Every single one of you is in. The roar that went up could probably be heard in Beijing. Follow the general to the death on infinite repeat. Except now everyone's grinning ear to ear instead of looking like I just told them their dog died. I wave them off to rest, then pull Lu Lei aside at my tent. I can have 200 personal guards now. Go through the old brothers and pick the best, building my inner circle. 10,000 cavalry under my command. A noble title, an army that would literally die for me, and a bunch of Huaishi generals who want my head on a pike. Life in the Ming Dynasty military is never boring. Lu Lei salutes and runs off to handpick my new guard squad like a kid who just got told he's team captain at recess. And honestly, good for him. The man gave up his centurion position to be my bodyguard, and now he's commanding 200 elite guards for a regional commissioner. Even the captains in my battalion can't boss him around anymore. Talk about a career comeback. I walk into my tent, and there are 2 big boxes just sitting there. Imperial gifts. I pop them open, and gold. Both boxes stuffed with gold. 2,000 gold pieces. The Emperor and the Crown Prince really said, "Here's your signing bonus, kid." A normal family could retire on this forever. I yeet both boxes into my storage space without blinking. My inventory is up to 19 cubic meters now thanks to my stats going up, so I've basically got a pocket warehouse. But I'm not keeping all of it. Half of that gold, 1,000 pieces, is going straight to the families of my fallen brothers once this campaign wraps up. Their wives and kids deserve to eat well. These men died fighting beside me. The least I can do is make sure their sacrifice wasn't for nothing. Call me sentimental. I call it paying my debts. Now, the real presents. I've got treasure chests to open. 4 normal chests and 1 tier. 1 chest from all that killing I've been doing. I lie back on my bed, crack my knuckles, and go. Open everything. The system goes brrrr. Normal chest 1. Flintlock musket. Full blueprint set. My jaw drops. This era still uses basic hand cannons, and I just got plans for a weapon that's centuries ahead. First I got gunpowder, then the divine cannon, now a flintlock? At this rate, I'm building an empire whether I want or not. Normal chest 2. Treasure ship. Complete construction blueprints. As in the legendary Ming treasure ships. The ones Zheng he sailed across the world with. The peak of Chinese naval engineering. I'm sitting here holding plans for a warship that could dominate every ocean on Earth. My future empire just got a navy. Normal chest 3. 10 bottles of premium hemostatic powder. The good stuff. I was down to my last 2 bottles of the regular kind, and those 2 bottles saved hundreds of my soldiers from bleeding out. Only complaint, still no recipe. Come on, system, give me the formula so I can mass produce this. Normal chest 4. A tiger head saber, yellow tier mid-grade. I pull it out, and this thing is heavy, at least 80 pounds. The blade is 3 feet of pure gleaming murder, so sharp it could probably cut through iron like butter. And at the connection between blade and handle, there's this carved tiger head with bulging angry eyes looking like it's about to eat someone. The stats say the stronger I am, the deadlier it gets. With MY strength, this thing is basically a war crime on a stick. Goodbye, old steel sword. You serve me well, but I'm upgrading. And the tier, 1 chest, golden bell shield technique, yellow tier upper grade. A martial art that channels internal energy into a full-body shield. Swords and blades can't break through it. The technique imprints directly into my brain, and I start practicing immediately. Now I've got the offense and the defense. I'm becoming a one-man tank. Meanwhile, out in the real world, General Feng Sheng is getting briefed on the situation. The court envoys have left, my cavalry battalion is being assembled, and General Fu has ordered an all-out assault on Gold City. Feng Sheng sends orders back saying Nahachu has beefed up his garrison to 80,000 troops in Gold City and the same in Kaiyuan, with a mix of veterans and green recruits. His advice, play it steady, don't rush. 5 days pass and the siege of Gold City is in full swing. General Zhao Yong is standing in the vanguard screaming. Anyone who retreats gets executed on the spot, while waves of Ming soldiers throw themselves at the walls. Arrows are flying everywhere like rain. Men are dying by the hundreds, and the battle rages on. And me? I'm back at camp with my brand new tiger saber, my bulletproof kung fu body, blueprints for guns and warships in my pocket dimension, and 10,000 cavalry soldiers being assembled under my command. The siege of Gold City is someone else's problem right now. I'm over here building a future. 5 days of siege on Gold City, and it is not going well for the Ming army. Spectacularly not well. The scene outside those walls is straight-up medieval horror. Ladders everywhere, soldiers climbing up only to get swarmed by. Defenders, boiling oil being poured on people turning them into human torches, rocks and logs raining down like the city is throwing a tantrum. Battering rams slamming the gate over and over, but the thing will not break. The Yuan defenders are replacing their dead faster than a conveyor belt. One guy falls, another one just steps right into his spot. After 5 days, General Fu Yud calls a meeting and the mood in that tent is toxic. Every general's face looks like they just ate a lemon wrapped in bad news. How many casualties? Fu asks. Over 10,000, sir. 10,000. In 5 days. And the city is still standing. Fu Yud turns to Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, the 2 commanders running the assault. With eyes that could freeze lava, Zhao Yong goes, just give us a few more days, we'll definitely break through. With that unhinged energy of a guy who's been smashing his head against a wall and is convinced the wall will crack first. Wang Bai tries the diplomatic approach. Well, sir, Nahachu fortified this city extra thick, The walls are higher than normal. The gates are reinforced. Fu Yid cuts them both off. Half a month. We've spent half a month burning through supplies and soldiers, and the only actual victory this entire campaign has seen was Zhu Ying's raid in the northern steppe. How am I supposed to explain this to the emperor? Dead silence. Wang Bai suggests maybe they should surround the city and starve them out. Fu Yid shuts that down immediately. Nahachu isn't stupid. He's got enough supplies stockpiled in there to last ages. Siege by starvation is a no-go. 5 more days. Fu holds up his hand. You have 5 days to break this city, or I swear. Zhao Yang's face crumbles. Sir, 5 days might not be enough. And that's when it happens. I'm sitting quietly in my corner, minding my own business, practically invisible, when Wang Bai suddenly swivels toward me like a turret locking on target. Well, General Zhu Ying was so impressive out in the northern steppe. He's great at commanding troops. Why doesn't he lead the assault? I'm sure with his legendary abilities, he could crack Gold City in no time, and Zhao Yong immediately jumps on the bandwagon. Yes, the soldiers call him a one-man army. If Zhu Ying takes over, maybe we won't even need 5 days. Oh, I see what you clowns are doing. These 2 Huaishi snakes are playing hot potato with the impossible mission. They spent 5 days failing to take this city, lost 10,000 men, and now they want to dump the whole mess on the newly promoted young guy. So when I also fail, they can point and laugh. Oh look, the Emperor's golden boy couldn't do it either, and if by some miracle I succeed, they'll claim I only finished what they started. It's a lose-lose trap wrapped in fake compliments. Every general in the tent turns to stare at me, and most of them have that. Oh, this is going to be good, smirk. Like they're watching a gladiator match and someone just released the lions. But before I even have to respond, Fu Yid slams his fist down. Enough! The tent goes dead quiet. General Zhu has been back from the northern steppe for 6 days. His cavalry battalion was only assembled 3 days ago. How exactly do you propose cavalry attacks a fortified city? Stop making ridiculous suggestions. Boom. Shield activated. Fu Yid just bodied both of them in 2 sentences. Cavalry can't siege walls. That's military common sense. And he used it to shut the whole scheme down without even making it political. Zhao Yong and Wang Bai can't hide the disappointment flashing across their faces. Their little ambush failed. The fox got away. I'm sitting here looking calm on the outside, but internally, I'm taking notes. Fu Yid just protected me in front of the entire command staff. That man knows exactly what game the Huaishi clique is playing. And even though he's technically one of them, he's not playing along. He's one of the smart ones. Understands that imperial power isn't something you poke with a stick. So the Huaishi generals failed to take the city, failed to dump it on me, and now they've got 5 days left before Fu Yid explodes. Meanwhile, I'm over here with my brand new cavalry, my tiger saber, my bulletproof kung fu, and flintlock blueprints in my pocket, just watching this circus unfold from the cheap seats. Not my problem. Yet. So the Huaishi clowns thought they had me cornered. Their whole plan was beautiful in its pettiness. Trick me into taking the siege mission, watch me fail against 70,000 defenders behind fortress walls, then laugh while my reputation burns. If I can't break the city, the court can't punish them for failing either. Classic. If I'm going down, I'm dragging you with me. Energy. Fu Yid had already blocked their little scheme with the cavalry can't siege walls argument. Perfect escape route. Free exit. All I had to do was sit quietly and let it slide. So naturally I stood up and said, I'll do it. The tent went silent. Like I just announced I was marrying a horse. Fu Yid stares at me like I've lost my mind. Do you understand what you're saying? I volunteer to break the city, sir. Are you serious? Dead serious. Zhao Yong and Wang Bai exchange a look, and I can feel the glee radiating off them like body heat. These 2 are practically vibrating with excitement. Christmas came early for the Huaishi gang. Zhao Yong immediately jumps in. Well, if the brave General Zhu wants to fight, you really should let him, sir. Who are we to deny his patriotic spirit? Voice dripping with fake support like syrup on a trap. I second that. Wang Bai chimes in. With his legendary battlefield skills, surely Gold City will fall in no time. And then every single Huaishi general in the room starts piling on. Seconded. Seconded. Let the hero fight. Like a chorus of hyenas pretending to cheer for a gazelle. Fu Yid tries one more time. Zhu Ying, siege warfare is not cavalry combat. What are you going to do? Gallop your horses up the walls? I look him dead in the eye. How I break the city is my concern. All I need is your full support. Here's what none of these people know. I have a tiger head saber that gets sharper the stronger I am, and I'm basically superhuman. That city gate could be made of solid iron, and I could chop it open like firewood. Plus, my commander seal gives stat buffs to my entire army. My soldiers literally fight harder just because I'm their general. These Huaishi idiots think they're feeding me to a lion, but they're actually handing me the easiest military achievement of my career on a silver platter. Thank you for the free war merit, gentlemen. Very generous of you. I lay out my plan to Fu Yud. 2 hours from now, blast the city with every cannon we have. When I break through, send the entire army in behind me. Don't hesitate. You're attacking at night. Darkness hides cavalry movement. Their archers can't aim in the dark. The cannons distract their attention. Simple. But how do you break the gate? I have my methods. Just back me up. Fu Yud looks at me for a long moment, then nods. Fine. If you actually pull this off, I will personally write the commendation to General Feng Sheng and the Emperor. As I'm walking out, Zhao Yong calls after me with that insufferable smirk. We'll be in the rear beating the war drums for you, General Zhu. Good luck out there, Wang Bai adds. Yes, we do hope you succeed and come back safely. The emphasis on safely, making it very clear they expect me to come back in pieces. Or not at all. I stop, turn around, smile. I really must thank you both for graciously giving me this achievement. After I break the city, I'll be sure to properly express my gratitude. Their smirks freeze. I walk out. Back at my camp, I call for assembly and the drums thunder through the night. 10,000 veteran cavalrymen pour out of their tents fully armed in minutes. My command structure is locked and tight. Wei Quan running 1st Battalion, Zhang Wu running 2nd. 10 captains all promoted from the brothers who fought beside me in the northern steppe. 3 days since formation, and this unit moves like a well-oiled machine because these aren't green recruits, they're Daning border veterans. 2 hours until we ride. The Huaishi generals are sitting back expecting a comedy show. They're about to get a horror movie instead. And they're the ones who bought the tickets. Night falls. Drums roll. 10,000 cavalrymen line up in formation faster than a pizza delivery on a Friday night. Wei Quan and Zhang Wu report. Full assembly, all present, awaiting orders. I walk up to the command platform, moonlight hitting me like I'm the main character in a movie, which, to be fair, I am, and I give my speech. One job tonight. We hit Gold City. We break the gates. It's gonna be ugly. But you all know my rules. I don't hide behind you. I charge first. The general who won't cower, the soldiers who won't fear death. That's an unbeatable army. Who's coming with me? Follow the general to the death. 10,000 voices. In unison. At night. If the Yuan army heard that from inside Gold City, someone definitely just soiled their armor. 3,000 of these guys are my ride-or-die brothers from the northern steppe. The other 7,000 are reassigned Daning border veterans who already worship me like I'm some kind of war god. Apparently, my reputation in this army is basically that guy who does impossible things before breakfast. I tell the officers to let the men rest. We move in 2 hours, and it's going to be a rough night. Zhang Wu gives me this look like a confused puppy. Sir? Cavalry. Attacking a city. Wei Quan and the other officers are making the same face. Like I just told them we're going to swim through the walls. Don't worry about how we break through. Just follow me and kill everything. Yes, SIR. No more questions. That's what absolute trust looks like, baby. After they leave, Lulei gives me a quiet report. Those guards I flagged? Already reassigned to regular duty in the army. See, here's the thing. When I became a regional commissioner, I unlocked a brand new subpanel, the faction panel. This beautiful piece of system technology lets me see the loyalty stats of everyone who directly serves under me. Most of my guards, 80 to 90 loyalty, ride or die, would literally take an arrow for me without thinking. But a few of them, under 50. Under 50. These men went through life and death battles with me, and they still aren't loyal? That doesn't happen naturally. Someone planted them. Maybe the Jinyui, the Emperor's secret police. Maybe someone else. Doesn't matter who. You don't put a knife in my pillow and expect me to sleep on it. So I quietly yeeted them out of my guard unit and into regular military positions. No drama, no confrontation. Just a clean removal. Lulei asks why and I tell him, loyalty. That's all you need to know. Everyone around me needs to be someone I can trust with my life. He nods. Smart man. Doesn't push. Now, the real treasure, my commissioner's seal. I pull up the stats on this bad boy and commissioner's official seal. All troops under my command get an 80% boost to combat power, morale, and stamina. 80%. My soldiers are basically fighting at nearly double their normal capacity just because I'm their general. This is why I'm unbeatable as a commander. This is why nobody can replace me. My army isn't just well-trained. They're systemically enhanced. Other generals have tactics and experience. I have cheat codes. Meanwhile, inside Gold City, the Yuan generals are having a party. I'm talking music, dancing girls, wine flowing. The full, we're winning, celebration package. Their commander, some big dude named Mangier who's apparently a Yuan prince, is sitting on his throne looking smug while his generals toast each other. The Ming army is pathetic. Half a month of siege and they can't even scratch our walls. They've lost tens of thousands and accomplished nothing. Once their supplies run out, we counterattack and take the fight to them. They're laughing, celebrating, absolutely convinced they've already won. Oh boys, you have no idea what's riding toward your gates in 2 hours. A cavalry force with an 80% stat boost, led by a superhuman with a magic saber that cuts through iron, protected by bulletproof kung fu, and commanded by a man who can literally see who's loyal and who's not. Enjoy the party while it lasts. The bill's about to arrive. Inside Gold City, the Yuan generals are having the time of their lives. They're sitting around their Prince Commander Mangier talking about how pathetic the Ming army is, how Nahachu is basically a genius for fortifying everything years in advance, and how they're going to reconquer all of China once the Ming run out of supplies. One dude literally calls Chinese people lowly commoners who deserve to be ruled. Real charming bunch. They're high-fiving each other over how Lan Yu, supposedly the scariest Ming general, can't even scratch their other fortress at Kaiyuan either. Then, boom boom boom. 200 cannons light up the night sky like the world's angriest fireworks show. Mangier's wine cup probably hit the ceiling. They're attacking? At night? One of his generals tries to calm him down. Relax, they can't see in the dark either. Night assault is suicide. But Mangier isn't stupid. He orders everyone to their posts immediately. The Chinese have a saying, arrogant armies always lose. Don't underestimate them. Go. Meanwhile, outside the walls. That's where the real show starts. I'm standing at the front of 10,000 mounted soldiers, tiger head saber raised above my head, the cannon fire lighting us up in flashes, red armored cavalry appearing and disappearing in the darkness like some kind of ghost army from the underworld. I look terrifying and I know it. 1st Cavalry Battalion. Where are you? HOH. 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 10,000 weapons thrust into the air. The sound alone could crack walls. Break this city and write your names in history. Same rules as always. I ride first, you follow me. The general who won't hide. The soldiers who won't fear. And if I fall off my horse, don't stop. Keep charging until these walls break. Heel. I slam my heels into my horse and explode forward, tiger saber gleaming, leading the charge personally because that's how I do things. Lu Lei and my 200 guards are right behind me like a shadow. Then Wei Quan and Zhang Wu bring their battalions roaring after us. 10,000 horses thundering across the plain toward Gold City in the dead of night. Back in the command tent, Fu Yud is watching and his jaw is on the floor. He's looking at my cavalry charging and going. This army was assembled 3 days ago, and their morale is this high? Is this guy the reincarnation of Huatzubing? He can feel the fighting spirit radiating off my troops like heat. Off a furnace. A fearless army. Soldiers who genuinely believe they cannot lose because their general is charging ahead of them. And then there's Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, standing there watching with their arms crossed, doing their best to look unimpressed. Zhao Yong sneers. General charges in front. Soldiers follow behind. Sure, it boosts morale temporarily, but if the general dies, the whole army collapses. It's reckless. Fundamentally flawed strategy. Wang Bai piles on. And did anyone notice they didn't bring any siege equipment? No battering rams, no siege towers, no ladders. How exactly does he plan to get through the gates? This is going to be a massacre, and not the kind he's hoping for. Zhao Yong is practically grinning. Let him fail. Once word gets out that the mighty Zhu Ying tried to siege a fortress with cavalry and got slaughtered, all those northern steppe victories become a joke. The emperor and the crown prince will realize their little pet project is just a reckless idiot, and they'll come crawling back to us Huaishi generals. The real warriors, they're so confident I'm about to embarrass myself. So certain this is going to be a disaster. Already rehearsing there. I told you so, speeches. Meanwhile, I'm galloping toward a fortified city held by 70,000 soldiers with NO siege equipment and a cavalry force that has zero business attacking walls. And I could not be more relaxed. Because these clowns watching from the cheap seats have no idea that the man on this horse has superhuman strength, an enchanted saber that cuts through iron like warm cheese, bulletproof kung fu, and a commander seal giving my entire army an 80% buff to everything. I don't need a battering ram. I am the battering ram. Even Fu Yud's own bodyguard captain is side-eyeing this operation. Sir, does Zhu Ying actually have a plan? He brought zero siege equipment. Not a single ladder, not a single ram. Just horses. What's he gonna do? Asked the gate nicely, but Fu Yud, bless this man's unwavering faith in me, just goes. Zhu Ying wouldn't bet his own life as a joke. Support him. All cannons, maximum fire rate. Go. 200 cannons erupt. The night sky turns into a light show from hell. Cannonballs crashing through roofs, squashing Yuan soldiers, shaking the entire city. And under that beautiful cover of chaos, I lead 10,000 cavalry charging straight at the walls. Spread out. Watch for arrows. My cavalry splits into multiple columns snaking toward the city like dragons in the dark. Up on the walls, the Yuan soldiers are having a collective brain malfunction. Are those horses, cavalry attacking a city? Are they suicidal? Their commander screams for archers and arrows start raining down, but it's pitch black and they can't aim worth anything. They're just shooting into the darkness and praying. My boys are doing the opposite, charging forward and praying. Me? I don't need to pray. I can see the arrows coming even in the dark. My saber is a blur, swatting incoming arrows out of the air like mosquitoes. 30 steps from the gate. 20. 10. This is it. I channel everything. Every ounce of my superhuman strength, every drop of internal energy, into my right arm. My entire body becomes a delivery system for one single strike. The tiger head saber begins to glow with lethal intent. 3 steps. My horse surges forward. I swing. 1. Slash. The saber hits the gate and sparks explode into the night like a fireworks factory having a bad day. The blade cuts through the reinforced iron gate like it's made of cardboard. The metal screams as it splits apart. Then I flick the blade, and the entire gate detonates outward. The massive iron doors that the Ming army couldn't break in 15 days of battering rams and siege warfare just got one shot. By a guy on a horse with a fancy knife. Several Yuan soldiers standing behind the gate get crushed under the falling metal. Dead instantly. And the system goes ding ding ding. 10 strength, 20 days lifespan, 10 internal energy, 25 days lifespan. The attribute buffet is open baby, all you can eat. The Yuan defenders inside are frozen. Their eyes are the size of dinner plates. That's impossible. A sword cut through our gate? That was reinforced iron. Yeah, well, your reinforced iron just met my reinforced everything. Their commander snaps out of it and starts screaming. Block them. Don't let them in. Kill them. Anyone who retreats dies. Thousands of Yuan soldiers flood toward the broken gate with weapons drawn. A wall of human bodies trying to plug the gap. I don't even slow down. Everyone, follow me and kill. I spur my horse directly into the mass of enemy soldiers and unleash my wild dance saber technique. The blade becomes a hurricane of steel, cutting in every direction simultaneously. What looks like one swing is actually a dozen slashes firing off at once. Yuan soldiers are getting decapitated, bisected, absolutely deleted. Blood spraying everywhere in the darkness, bodies dropping like dominoes. 10 internal energy, 10 days lifespan. 10 constitution, 15 days. 10 strength, 20 days. The system notifications are scrolling so fast, it's like a slot machine hitting jackpot on every pull. They keep pouring in. Kill 1 and 2. More take his place. But I am a human with chipper mounted on a horse, and nothing they throw at me even slows me down. My tiger head saber is doing exactly what the stats promised. The stronger I am, the sharper it gets. And right now, I am very strong, and this blade is cutting through armored soldiers like a hot knife through warm butter. Behind me, Liu Lei and my 200 guards come screaming through the broken gate on horseback. Brothers, follow the general. Kill every last one of them. They slam into the Yuan defenders like a battering ram made of horses and rage. Swords swinging, horses trampling, absolute pandemonium inside the gate. And behind them, Wei Quan and Zhang Wu see the shattered gate, see me carving a bloody highway through the enemy, and completely lose their minds. The general broke the gate. The general broke the gate. Brothers, charge. Charge. 10,000 cavalry are now funneling through the breach I carved with a single swing, pouring into Gold City like water through a cracked dam. Somewhere behind all of this, back at the Ming command tent, I can only imagine the looks on Zhao Yong and Wang Bai's faces right now. How's that for cavalry attacking a city, you smug little weasels? My boys are losing their minds. Wei Quan and Zhang Wu saw me chop that gate open, and their brains just short-circuited into pure berserker mode. The general is a god. Follow him. Kill everything. 10,000 cavalrymen are flooding through the gap I carved, and inside the city, it's absolute carnage. I'm at the front doing what I do best, swinging my tiger head saber like a lawnmower through a field of very unfortunate grass. Every swing drops multiple enemies. The system is going absolutely insane with notifications. 10 internal energy, 15 days lifespan. 10 internal energy, 10 days. 10 spirit. Ding 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 ding. I'm farming stats like this is a video game grinding zone, and these Yuan soldiers are the XP piñatas. My guards know the drill. Nobody passes in front of me. They fight on my flanks. We're a human wedge of death pushing deeper into the city, and with every yard we gain, more Ming soldiers pour through behind us. It's a brutal tug of war. Yuan reinforcements keep flooding in from deeper in the city, but we keep shoving forward. Slow and steady wins the massacre. Up on the walls, the Yuan commanders are having full mental breakdowns. How did they break the gate? They didn't even have siege equipment. That gate had 8 reinforced iron bars. 8. What happened? Yeah, what happened is that your 8 iron bars met a guy whose strength stat is higher than your city's engineering budget. Sorry about your door. Their wall commander starts screaming orders. Get everyone down there. Push them out. Execute anyone who retreats. And someone tell the prince what's happening. Meanwhile, outside the city, Fu Yud is squinting through the darkness trying to figure out what's going on. The cannon fire keeps lighting things up in flashes, and he can hear my army's war cries shaking the earth. Something is clearly different. Then his scouts come galloping back at full speed. Sir, General Zhu broke through the gate. He's inside the city. His forces are engaging the enemy in close combat right now. Fu Yud's face goes through about 17 emotions in 2 seconds before landing on pure joy. Say that again. He broke the gate, sir. He's inside. Fighting as we speak. Ha ha ha. Fu Yud literally throws his head back and laughs. Zhuing, worthy of the crown prince, calling him the reincarnation of Hua Tsubing. My entire army couldn't break that gate in half a month, and this man did it in less than half an hour. And that laugh? That big, booming victory laugh? It carries right to where Zhao Yong and Wang Bai are standing. Their faces. Oh, I wish I could have seen their faces. Zhao Yong is literally trembling. How? How? That gate is the strongest fortification in the region. Our battering rams couldn't even dent it after days of pounding. How did he? This is impossible. Wang Bai looks like someone just told him his house burned down and his dog ran away on the same day. And then it hits them. The realization. The beautiful, horrible, karma-flavored realization. They suggested this. They pushed for me to take this mission. They opened their big mouths in that tent and said, let Zhuing try so we can watch him fail. And instead of failing, I just snatched the biggest military achievement of the entire campaign. The one they would have eventually gotten if they'd just kept grinding at it for a few more days. They literally gifted me the war merit of a lifetime out of spite. The looks they're exchanging right now? Pure regret. Pure anguish. We played ourselves. Energy is radiating off them so hard you could warm your hands on it. Fu Yu doesn't waste a second. All forces prepare to advance. The moment Zhu Ying's cavalry is fully inside, the entire army pushes in. Bring the siege ladders too. full assault on all sides. We fight through the night until this city falls. Back inside the city, things get a little hairy for me personally. My horse finally goes down. The Yuan soldiers turned it into a pincushion. Poor animal took about 50 stab wounds protecting me. I roll off the dead horse, hit the ground, and pop right back up without missing a beat. Quick switch, I store the tiger head saber back in my inventory, too big for close-quarters street fighting, and pull out my trusty green rainbow sword instead. Nobody notices the magical disappearing act in all the chaos. Convenient. And honestly, the sword feels better for this kind of tight alley combat. The blade is singing through the air, cutting through enemy spears and sabers like they're made of wet noodles. Yuan soldiers are watching their weapons get snapped in half before the same blade takes their heads off. Die! I roar, lunging forward. Screams. Bodies. More system notifications than I can count. The city is OURS for the taking. And somewhere behind me, two very angry Huaishi generals are watching their careers flash before their eyes. Thanks for the opportunity, boys. I'll send flowers. I am a machine right now. No horse. No problem. I'm on foot in the middle of a war zone, and somehow I'm moving faster. The darkness is my friend. I'm weaving through enemy soldiers at superhuman speed. Green rainbow, sword painting red lines through the air. Every swing kills. Every kill feeds me stats. 10 internal energy. 10 speed. 15 days lifespan. The notifications are coming so fast they're basically a solid wall of text. My sword is cutting through their weapons like they're made of crackers. Nobody's blade can even survive contact with the green rainbow, let alone hurt me. Spears snap. Sabers shatter. Then the guy holding the broken weapon gets a very brief introduction to my follow-up swing. And honestly, I'm not even being careful anymore. Between my heavy armor, my inner protective vest, and a body that's over 10 times tougher than a normal human, these guys can barely scratch me. The few hits that land. Tiny wounds that heal in minutes. I'm basically a regenerating tank with a legendary weapon, and I'm having the time of my life. My stamina is so absurd I could fight for days without getting tired. Days. These Yuan soldiers are rotating in shifts, and I'm over here going on hour 3 like it's a light cardio session. Behind me, my cavalry is pouring through the breach like a flood. More and more space opens up as we push forward. The Yuan defenders keep throwing bodies at us, but it's like trying to stop a river with your hands. Every line they form, I cut through it. Every barricade they build, my soldiers smash it apart. Then, right in the middle of slicing through another group of unfortunate defenders, the system drops the big one. Congratulations! All attributes have broken 2,000 points. Reward: 1 tier, 1 treasure chest. All stats past 2,000. I feel the power surge through me like someone plugged me into a wall socket. Every muscle, every nerve, every fiber of my being just leveled up simultaneously. The fatigue I didn't even really have? Gone. Completely erased. Ha ha ha. Beautiful. More. Kill more. I'm laughing like a maniac while charging deeper into the city with my sword out. This isn't a battle anymore. It's a buffet. Inside Gold City's command palace, Prince Mangier just got the worst news of his life. Your Highness, the Ming army is inside the city. General Wang Shitai is fighting them, but he can't hold. The gate is gone. What? How? I defended this city for half a month. It was cavalry, sir. They broke the gate somehow. Mangier is staring at his general like the man just told him the walls were made of paper this whole time. He cannot comprehend what happened. Half a month of perfect defense, tens of thousands of Ming casualties, and then one night some lunatic on a horse just deletes his gate? But credit where credit's due. Mangier doesn't crumble. He stands up, looks at his armor and sword hanging on the wall, and his eyes go cold. Deploy every soldier in the city. We hold Gold City or we die here. This is the gateway to all of Liaodong. It does not fall. Then, quietly, to himself, Nahachu, I won't let them take this city. Not while I'm alive. Respect. Wrong side of history, but respect. Outside, Fu Yid sees my entire cavalry force disappear through the gates and goes full send. All forces advance. Siege ladders up. Attack from every side. We fight through the night until this city is OURS. The entire Ming army surges forward. Tens of thousands of infantry charging the walls with ladders while my cavalry tears through the inside. Gold City is getting cracked open like an egg. And Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, standing there watching the greatest military achievement of the campaign happen in real time. An achievement they personally handed to me out of spite. The narrator says their feelings right now are worse than eating actual feces. I wouldn't know, but I believe it. Meanwhile, 1,000 miles south in the capital, Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang is having a meltdown in the imperial court. He just hurled a battle report at the floor. What is Fengxing doing out there? Half a month. 20,000+ troops. Not a single victory. Everyone says Huaishi generals are the best fighters in the empire. Where is the proof? Every minister in the room is on their knees going, "Please calm down, Your Majesty," while internally praying they don't get executed for being in the same room as bad news. But Crown Prince Zhu Biao, my guy, my patron, calmly picks up the throne report, reads it, and smoothly talks his father off the ledge. "Father, Nahachu has been fortifying Liaodong for years. Half a month isn't that long for a campaign this big. If he were easy to beat, the Yuan wouldn't have made him Grand Commander." The Emperor's rage meter slowly ticks down from "execute everyone" to merely furious. Then Zhu Biao drops the mic. "By the way, father, I have another report from the front. I think this one will improve your mood quite a bit." He pulls a scroll from his sleeve with a smile. "Now I don't know exactly what's in that report, but given the timing, I'm pretty sure my name is about to make the Emperor's day. 2,000 in all stats. A city falling. An Emperor about to read my highlight reel. Today is a good day to be Zhuing. Back in the capital, Crown Prince Zhu Biao is doing God's work for my career." He pulls out my battle report and hands it to the Emperor like a waiter presenting the finest wine on the menu. Zhu Yuanzhang reads it, and his whole face transforms. 2 seconds ago, he was about to execute everyone in the room, and now he's beaming like a proud grandfather at a graduation ceremony. Zhuing, 4,000 cavalry into the northern steppe, killed tens of thousands, captured 10,000 warhorses. Biao, this boy might really deserve that Hui Tsubing comparison. The Crown Prince smiles. He's still young. If he keeps this up, he will become our dynasty's champion marquis. Every minister in that court just felt the political winds shift. The Crown Prince basically announced to the entire government that Zhu Ying is his guy. Future VIP. Rising star. Touch him and you touch me. The courtiers are mentally updating their people to suck up to lists in real time. Then Zhu Biao casually mentions he authorized my cavalry battalion and adjusted the Daning military structure to accommodate it. "Hope you don't mind, father," Zhu Yuanzhang laughs. "Mind? You did great. 10,000 warhorses need riders, and the northern border needs cavalry. Perfect decision. This is the most secure crown prince in Chinese history. Dad doesn't just approve his decisions, he celebrates them. Must be nice having a parent who actually likes you. Anyway, my political backing is now ironclad from the very top." Meanwhile, back at Gold City, I've been fighting all night and straight into the morning. The sun's up and I haven't stopped killing for a second. The outer city is a war zone. Bodies everywhere. The Ming army is absolutely unleashed. Half a month of getting blocked at those walls had everyone simmering with frustration, and now that I kicked the door open, they're charging through like they've been personally offended by every brick in this city. Soldiers who were tired and demoralized yesterday are fighting like rabid wolves today. And me? I'm at the very front. Obviously. Where else would I be? From midnight to sunrise, nonstop slaughter. My green rainbow sword hasn't stopped moving. I'm drenched head to toe in blood, looking like I took a bath in a horror movie, except the blood is still wet and actively dripping. Fresh coat, continuously applied. The system hits me with another milestone. Total personal kills exceed 2,000. Reward, 1 tier, 1 treasure chest, 2,000 confirmed kills. By my own hand. Since I started this whole journey, bandits, Mongol warriors, Yuan soldiers, 2,000 souls have met my blade. The term, one-man army, isn't a compliment anymore, it's a job description. The Yuan soldiers in front of me are genuinely terrified now. Their eyes are wide. Their feet are shuffling backward. The supervising officer behind them is screaming, "Kill him! Attack!" But they're looking at the demon covered in blood who's been carving through their ranks for 8 hours straight without breaking a sweat and going, "Yeah, no, you kill him." I grin. Yuan army. Not impressed. Then I spot something valuable. A commanding officer in the back, directing troops. My eyes lock on like a targeting computer. I cut through the soldiers between us like they're made of tissue paper, my men surging behind me. And before this general can even finish screaming, "Stop him," my sword takes his head clean off. Killed Yuan commander of 50,000, Salaton. 100 all attributes. Reward: 1 normal treasure chest. 100 points to everything. This guy was the equivalent of a division commander. His head is now hanging from my belt like the world's most gruesome keychain. But I'm not done. Not even close. I'm already thinking ahead. There's definitely a bigger fish in this city. Some prince or top commander running the whole defense. If I let the Huaishi weasels reach him first, they'll steal the kill credit and dilute MY achievement. The real grand prize is the enemy commander's head. I need to reach that command palace and chop off whoever's sitting in the big chair before Zhao Yong and Wang Bai's troops get there. Because here's the thing. I broke the gate. I led the charge. I killed a division commander. I've been at the front for 8 hours. I am not letting those backstabbing snakes share a single drop of glory from this battle. They wanted to watch me fail. Now they get to watch me take everything. The gate? Mine. The kills? Mine. The commanding general? Mine. Every scrap of merit from this city belongs to me. I'm petty and I'm proud of it. These Huaishi clowns drew first blood with their little tent ambush. Now I'm going to humiliate them so thoroughly that they'll need therapy. Sword up. Blood dripping. Belt jangling with a severed head. Time to go find the boss room. Brothers, the command palace is right there. Charge. And if any other unit steals this kill before us, I will be personally offended. I point my sword at the Yuan governors. Palace up ahead, and my army goes feral. We just smashed through their second defensive line like it was made of wishes and disappointment. After I chopped off General Salaton's head, his entire army just dissolved. Thousands of Yuan soldiers throwing down weapons and running like they just remembered they left the stove on at home. Even their execution squads in the back can't stop the stampede. Morale? Gone. Formation? What formation? I'm chasing them down on foot, and still catching them because my speed stats are absolutely ridiculous. Every fleeing soldier I reach gets a one-swing retirement package from the Green Rainbow Sword. The system is ringing like a cash register at Christmas. Meanwhile, on the other side of the city, Zhao Yong is having a full-blown panic attack. Not because his soldiers are dying, because I might reach the enemy commander before him. Faster. Kill faster. We cannot let Zhu Ying capture Mangier. Anyone who retreats gets executed. He's turned his own bodyguards into an execution squad just to squeeze more speed out of his troops. The man literally cares more about stealing credit than winning the battle. His soldiers are fighting hard, but they can't match mine. Because his soldiers fight out of fear, while MY soldiers fight. Because they saw their general kick down a reinforced iron gate with a single sword swing, and they believe we are collectively invincible. Fear motivation versus inspiration motivation. Guess which one wins? And the beautiful irony? Zhao Yong knows he can't catch up. He's screaming at his men while mentally replaying the moment he opened his big mouth in that tent and said, "Let Zhu Ying try." The stone he lifted is now firmly embedded in both his feet. Outside the city, Fu Yud is chilling with his 3,000 personal guards. Everyone else is already inside fighting. And he's got the biggest grin on his face. A scout gallops up with the update. "Sir, Zhu Ying's forces broke through the second defense line. He killed a Yuan general and is charging straight for the command palace. His troops are unstoppable." Fu Yud just laughs. "That boy, he actually did it. Once we fully take this city, Zhu Ying gets the top merit." No question, his bodyguard captain asks if they should report to General Feng Sheng, and Fu Yud waves him off. "Not yet. Wait until the city is completely ours. Then we deliver the good news." And privately, Fu Yud is thinking, whoever takes their fortress first, Gold City or Kaiyuan, gets the campaign's top honor. Looks like I'm about to beat Lan Yu to the punch. Even the commanding general is benefiting from my rampage. "You're welcome, sir." Inside the palace, Mangier gets the worst news of his life, again. "Your Highness, Salaton is dead. The middle city defenses have collapsed. The Ming army will be at our gates within minutes. Please, you must evacuate." Mangier's face goes through grief, anger, and then settles on something I honestly have to respect: pure stubborn defiance. Salaton died fighting. Countless of our warriors died fighting. Nahachu trusted me with this city. If I run, how do I face him? How do I face the emperor? I am a prince of the great Yuan. I will not flee from Chinese soldiers. He stands up, grabs his saber, and turns to his personal guards. Follow me. We fight the Ming army to the death. Even if Gold City falls, we bite off a piece of them on our way down. The great Yuan fears nothing, and he marches out of the palace doors with his guard unit, heading straight toward me. Respect? Absolutely. This man is about to die with his boots on and his sword in his hand. Wrong side of history, but he's going out like a warrior. Outside the palace, it's chaos. Thousands of routed Yuan soldiers are streaming past in blind panic, crashing into each other, screaming, tripping over their own feet, trying to get away from me. And behind the wave of fleeing soldiers, here I come. On foot, drenched in blood from scalp to boots, green rainbow, sword in hand. Thousands of Ming cavalry and infantry surging behind me. Every Yuan soldier too slow to run gets introduced to my blade. One swing, one kill, stats go up, keep moving. I look up at the palace gates ahead, and my eyes narrow. That's the command center. If the Yuan commander is anywhere, he's in there. The boss room is right in front of me. The final boss apparently just walked out to meet me. This is about to be legendary. The palace is right there, and I can practically smell the final boss XP. I'm screaming at my boys to push forward when suddenly, the palace doors burst open and out walks this absolute unit of a man in full battle armor. I am here. Rally to me, warriors of the great Yuan. Mangier, the Cloud Peace Prince himself, just walked out of his palace like an action movie hero making his entrance. And I'll give him this. It works. The fleeing Yuan soldiers who were tripping over each other to run away suddenly stop and look back. His personal guard, thousands of them, pour out behind him and split into two groups. One blocks the retreat routes so the fleeing soldiers can't run anymore, and the other charges straight at us. Anyone who flees will be executed. Anyone who fights and dies. The Yuan Empire will care for your family. Now fight. The routed soldiers have nowhere to go. They turn around and pick up their weapons again. Suddenly, this is a real fight again. But am I worried? Let me check. No, I am not. Soldiers of the great Ming, where are you? HOH. 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 Front ranks, with me. Rear ranks, arrows. Kill them all. I charge forward. Wei Quan brings the cavalry crashing in beside me. Behind us, Zhang Wu splits his men wide, and they unleash a storm of arrows into the Yuan ranks. Hundreds of enemy soldiers drop like dominoes. And through the middle of all that chaos, me, cutting a direct path toward the big man himself. Mangier sees me coming. He knows who I am. In the Jurchen territories to the north, my name is basically a curse word. The tribal chief I killed? That was me. The army that terrorized their lands for months? Mine. This guy has heard the horror stories. But he doesn't run. He grips his massive war saber, this heavy, brutal cleaver of a weapon, and his eyes fill with the calm certainty of a man who has accepted death. Nahachu, I won't disappoint you. Even if the city falls, I fall with it. Then he charges straight at me. Ming General, die. His saber comes down like a guillotine. Heavy, powerful, the kind of swing that would split a normal person in half. I sidestep it like he's moving in slow motion. One thrust. Green rainbow sword punches clean through his chest plate and out the other side. AGH, his guards go insane. The prince. Protect the prince. They rush me from every direction. I pull my sword free and start swinging. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every guard that comes close gets cut down before they can even raise their weapons. Mangier is clutching his chest, blood pouring between his fingers, looking at me with this complicated mix of hatred and grudging recognition. Who are you? Zhuing, general of the great Ming. His eyes go wide. It's you, yeah? It's me, the boogeyman. The one the Jurchen tribes whisper about. The name that makes northern warlords check under their beds at night. Any last words? No. Then goodbye. I step forward. He looks toward the sky, and his final thought is an apology. Nahachu, I failed you. Gold City is lost. One swing. His head hits the ground. Killed Yuan Cloud Peace Prince Mangier. 200 all attributes. Reward. 1 tier, 1 treasure chest. 200 points to everything. Prince tier enemies hit different. My total stats are rocketing toward 3,000 across the board. I am becoming something that shouldn't exist in this century. I grab his head by the hair, lift it high above me for the entire battlefield to see, and roar. The Yuan Prince is dead. Kill every last one of them. Leave none alive. The effect is instantaneous and devastating. My soldiers. The general killed their prince. Charge. Morale goes through the roof. They attack with the energy of men who believe they're fighting alongside a literal war god. The Yuan soldiers. The prince is dead. It's over. Run. Run. Complete psychological collapse. The troops Mangier had just rallied with his last stand crumble again, this time permanently. Even his elite guards can't hold the line. It's total rout. Soldiers throwing down weapons, trampling each other, running in every direction. My rear guard peppers them with arrows. My cavalry runs them down. My infantry sweeps through like a broom. Gold City is done. I broke the gate. I killed General Salaton. I killed Prince Mangier. I personally led every charge from midnight until now. Every single piece of merit from this battle has my name stamped on it in letters so big you could read them from the capital. And somewhere in this city, Zhao Yong is fighting through Yuan defenders, trying desperately to reach a command palace where the enemy commander is already headless on the ground. Race over, buddy. I won. Thanks for the head start, and I mean that literally. Nearly a full day and night since I started this assault. Fuyut has been standing outside the city watching the sunset, waiting for news, when his scouts come galloping out of the gates, practically falling off their horses with excitement. Sir, Gold City has fallen. The Yuan commander, Cloud Peace Prince Mangier, was personally killed by General Zhu Ying. The enemy army has completely collapsed. Surrender and retreat everywhere. Fuyut's face lights up like a lantern festival. Good, good, good. 3 goods. That's how you know a Chinese general is really happy. They start repeating single words like a broken record of joy. Breaking the gate, first to enter the city, and killing the enemy commander. All of it belongs to Zhu Ying. This is the defining achievement of the entire Gold City campaign. Then he starts issuing orders like a machine. Cook hot meals with meat. For the soldiers, mobilize the medical corps for the wounded. And, most importantly, send the full battle report to General Feng Sheng. He wants to personally recommend me for commendation. And here's the cherry on top. Fuyut is gloating. Gold City and Kaiyuan. Whoever falls first is the campaign's top achievement. Looks like Lan Yu is eating my dust this time. Even the commanding general is riding my coattails to glory. Everybody wins when Zhu Ying goes to war. You're welcome, sir. Now, while all that's happening outside, yours truly is handling some private business inside. I sent Wei Quan to chase down the fleeing Yuan soldiers, and I personally led my guards into Mangier's palace compound. Officially, clearing out remaining enemy fighters. Protecting civilians. Very noble. Unofficially, this man was a Yuan prince. A royal. And royals have treasure rooms. First things first, though, I'm not a monster. I order my men. No killing civilians. Anyone who kneels gets to live. We're soldiers, not butchers. Because even in the middle of a looting, I mean strategic asset acquisition, I have standards. Lu Lei comes running up. General, we found the treasury. Interrogated a servant for the location. My eyes go wide. Lead the way. We get to the back courtyard, and there it is, a brick-walled vault with an iron door and a massive lock. This thing was built to survive anything. Anything except a guy with a magic sword, that is. One swing of the green rainbow, and the lock falls off like a bad haircut. I push the doors open, and gold, silver, jewels. The room is literally glowing. Holy, history books were right. When the Yuan dynasty fled China, every noble stuffed their pockets with as much loot as they could carry, and Mangier apparently carried a lot. We're talking at least 200,000 to 300,000 gold worth of treasure in here. Gold bars, silver ingots, pearls, jade, gemstones. It's like a dragon's hoard from a fantasy novel, except it's real, and it's right in front of me. My storage space recently expanded to nearly 30 cubic meters after my stats broke 2,000. That's a lot of room for gold. I walk up to the pile, put my hands on it, and start absorbing treasure into my inventory like a vacuum cleaner at a glitter factory. Gold bars disappearing into thin air. Silver vanishing. Jewels going poof. I'm taking at least 2/3 of everything in here. I'll leave enough behind to turn in as captured enemy resources so nobody gets suspicious. Just enough to look legitimate. I told Lulei to guard the door and let nobody in. By the time I'm done, this room will look like it was a much poorer prince's treasury. This gold isn't just for spending on fancy things. This is startup capital. When I eventually build my own power base, and we all know that's where this is heading, I'm going to need money. Weapons, supplies, infrastructure, loyal followers who need to eat. You can't build an empire on good vibes. You need gold. And Mangier just donated his entire life savings to the Zhu Ying Future Empire Fund. Very generous of a dead man. Meanwhile, outside the palace, Zhao Yong and Wang Bai finally fight their way through the last Yuan defenses and arrive at the command center. They see my cavalry patrolling the perimeter, my soldiers standing guard at every entrance, my banner flying over the palace. Their faces could curdle milk. They're standing there with their exhausted, blood-soaked troops, staring at a palace that's already been fully secured by me, and the realization is hitting them like a truck. They're too late. Again, Zhao Yong, grasping at straws. Maybe Mangier escaped? Maybe Zhu Ying didn't catch him. Wang Bai, desperately hopeful. Yeah, Yuan royals have pride, but they're not stupid. He probably ran. Right? Right? They're literally praying that the enemy commander got away. Not because they want the war to continue. Because the only thing worse than me breaking the city is me breaking the city and killing the commander. That would make this a total sweep of every possible achievement. Which, of course, is exactly what happened. Mangier's head is currently hanging from my belt, drying in the afternoon sun. But they don't know that yet. Let them hope for a few more minutes. The disappointment will taste even sweeter that way. So Zhao Yong and Wang Bai finally show up at the palace gates, exhausted and blood-soaked, only to find MY soldiers standing guard at every entrance like bouncers at an exclusive club. Wang Bai's eyes go straight to the palace walls, and you can practically see the dollar signs spinning in his pupils. Mangier lived here for years. A Yuan prince. This place must be stuffed with gold and silver. Zhao Yong. Well, we can't get any of it, because Zhu Ying's men are already moved. Zhao Yong stomps up to the gate where my man Zhuang Wei is standing guard. Zhuang Wei takes one look at the fancy cape and armor and gives a respectful bow. Sir, get out of my way. I'm entering this palace. Zhuang Wei doesn't even flinch. Sorry, sir. General Zhu is clearing enemy combatants inside and has ordered that nobody enters without his permission. How dare you? Zhao Yong literally draws his sword and points it at Zhuang Wei's face. I am Commander Zhao Yong of the Northern Expedition. My orders outrank your little generals. Zhuang Wei, cool as ice. Our 1st Cavalry Battalion reports directly to General Fu Yud and General Feng Sheng. We are not under Commander Zhao's authority. Boom. Rank checked. Military bureaucracy is a beautiful thing when it works in your favor. Zhao Yong's face turns the color of a tomato that's been personally insulted. I could execute you for disobeying a superior officer, and that's when I make my entrance. Clap, clap, clap. I stroll out of the palace covered head to toe in dried blood, slowly applauding like a villain in a stage play. Every eye turns to me. My, Commander Zhao. What impressive authority you carry, Zhu. YNG. I turn to Zhuang Wei with mock disappointment. Zhuang Wei, how could you be so rude to Commander Zhao? Don't you know? We should all be thanking Commander Zhao. And Commander Wang too. I spin around to face my thousands of soldiers guarding the compound and shout, brothers, if it weren't for these 2 generous commanders volunteering me for this mission, we never would have gotten the credit for breaking Gold City. Everyone, show your gratitude. On cue. Every single one of my soldiers turns to face Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, snaps to attention, and bellows in perfect unison. Thank you, commanders, for your generous recommendation. Thousands of voices, echoing off every wall in the compound. The most weaponized, thank you, in military history. The looks on their faces. Oh, the looks. If human eyes could actually shoot fire, I would be a pile of ash right now. Zhao Yong is gripping his sword handle so hard his knuckles are white. Wang Bai looks like he's having a stroke in slow motion. But I'm not done. Oh no, not nearly done. Oh, by the way, thanks to you 2 drawing away some of the Yuan defenders on your side of the city, I was able to push straight through to this very palace and, wouldn't you know it, I personally killed the enemy commander, Yuan Prince Mangier himself. Check it out. I unhooked the severed head from my belt and hold it up for them to see. Mangier's lifeless eyes staring right at them. I'll be presenting this to General Fu shortly. Couldn't have done it without your support. I have never seen two human beings look more like they want to murder someone while knowing they absolutely cannot. Zhao Yong's jaw is clenched so tight, I'm worried about his dental health. Wang Bai's hands are shaking. If there weren't witnesses, if there weren't thousands of witnesses, they would have drawn swords and charged me on the spot. But they can't, because I'm the Emperor's rising star, the Crown Prince's pet project. Touching me would be career suicide, and they know it. Zhao Yong hisses out one word through clenched teeth, leave, and then he turns and practically runs away. With his entourage, Wang Bai right behind him, both of them fleeing from My Palace like dogs with their tails between their legs. They came here to steal treasure and instead got publicly humiliated in front of thousands of soldiers. Pathetic little cowards, I mutter, grinning. Can't beat me? Too bad. I'll roast you with sarcasm until you cry. These two started this beef. They tried to sabotage me in that war tent. They wanted me to fail and die, and instead I took every piece of glory from this battle and then rubbed their noses in it like they were badly behaved puppies. I am petty and I am thriving. Now for the important part. I pull Wei Quan aside and whisper, there's gold and silver in the palace treasury. Take the brothers in shifts. Make sure every soldier in our battalion gets a share. The ones chasing down enemy stragglers too. And double portions for the families of our fallen. Wei Quan hesitates. Sir, isn't that against regulations? I jerk my thumb toward where Zhao Yong and Wang Bai just fled. You think those two walked in here to admire the architecture? They came to loot the exact same treasury. If we don't take it, it goes into their pockets when the main army moves in. I'd rather my brothers eat than those backstabbing weasels. Wei Quan nods. Fair point. Very fair point. So let's do the final accounting on today's events. I broke an unbreakable gate. Killed 2 enemy generals, including a prince. Took the #1 achievement of the entire Liaodong campaign. Got enough gold to fund a small kingdom stored in my pocket dimension. Distributed bonus pay to every soldier in my battalion. Publicly humiliated 2 senior Huaishi commanders until they literally ran away. And it all started because those 2 idiots tried to set me up for failure. The lesson? Don't start problems with a man who has maxed out stats, a magic sword, and 0 chill. So I kept 70% of the treasury for myself, stored safe in my pocket dimension, and left 30% for Wei Quan to distribute among the boys. Every single soldier in my battalion gets a share. The guys chasing down fleeing enemies? Share saved for them. Families of our fallen brothers? Double share. Was I going to turn some of it into the army? Honestly, yeah. But then Zhao Yong and Wang Bai showed up with their greedy little eyes practically drooling at the palace gates, and I thought, if I hand this gold over to the military, those Huaishi vultures will swallow every last coin before it reaches anyone who deserves it. That's just how the system works. Captured war assets magically disappear into generals' pockets. It's an open secret nobody talks about. So yeah, my brothers eat first. Sue me. Meanwhile, Zhao Yong and Wang Bai are stomping away from my palace having the Angrisd walk and talk in military history. Wang Bai, that Zhu Ying is too arrogant. How dare he disrespect us like that? Zhao Yong. Furious silence Wang Bai. Say something. Are we just going to take this? Zhao Yong, through clenched teeth. What exactly do you want me to do? His unit is Daning Border Army. He reports to Fu Yud and Feng Sheng, not us. We literally have 0 authority over him. Wang Bai, voice dropping low. If we can't do it openly, what about doing it in the dark? Oh, how scary. 2 guys who couldn't even take a city in 15 days are now plotting to take me down in secret. I'm shaking in my blood-soaked boots. Really? Trembling. Zhao Yong at least has enough brain cells to pump the brakes. He's a rising star in the capital. The Emperor and Crown Prince are watching him. If we go too far, we're the ones who get destroyed. Wang Bai, fine. But I will find a way to teach him a lesson. Sure you will, buddy. Get in line. Now here's where things get delicious. Let's check in on the other front of this war, Kaiyuan City, where the great and mighty Lan Yu has been smashing his army against the walls for the same 15 days with the exact same results. Can't break through. Casualties piling up. Total stalemate. General Feng Sheng, the supreme commander of this whole operation, is sitting in his tent looking like a man who hasn't slept in a week. This can't continue, Lan Yu. Half a month. Over 10,000 casualties. Nothing to show for it. Lan Yu stands up with dramatic confidence. Give me 10 more days. I will break Kaiyuan or accept punishment. And then a carrier pigeon arrives from the emperor himself. The message is literally one sentence. Nearly a month attacking Liaodong with no results. I am very displeased. One sentence. From Zhu Yuanzhang. That's somehow more terrifying than a 10-page rant. Every general in the tent feels their life expectancy drop by a decade. Feng Sheng goes pale. You all heard that. The emperor is not happy. Lan Yu doubles down on his 10-day promise. Feng Sheng sighs and asks about Gold City's situation. His aide reports that it's the same stalemate. Actually worse because Manjier is supposedly even more capable than the general defending Kaiyuan. Everyone is depressed. The mood is funeral-level grim. And then, urgent dispatch from General Fu. Gold City, victory report. Feng Sheng's head snaps up. Victory? Did Fu Yud break Gold City? Lan Yu's confident expression just crumbles. The man was literally mid-sentence promising to be first to break through, and someone just ran in screaming that the other city already fell. Bring it in. Now. The messenger hands over Fu Yud's personal battle report. Feng Sheng unrolls it, reads it, and his eyes go wide. Then he starts laughing. Ha ha ha. Good. 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 3 goods again. That's the universal Chinese general happiness indicator. Zhuing. No wonder the emperor and crown prince value him so highly. He broke Gold City. I can't believe it. The timing could not be more perfect. Literally minutes after receiving the emperor's angry, I'm disappointed in all of you. Message. Feng Sheng gets handed a victory report that solves everything. Gold City has fallen. The Liaodong defensive line is cracked. He has something to send back to the capital that won't get him executed. And it's all because of me. Feng Sheng doesn't even have to worry about being punished anymore. 18 days into the campaign, and the first major fortress has fallen. That's actually a perfectly reasonable timeline. He can breathe again. But Lan Yu? Lan Yu is standing there with his jaw on the floor and his pride in pieces. This is the man who considers himself the greatest general in the Ming army, the successor to the legendary Su De. And some nobody kid from the Daning border garrison just beat him to the punch on the biggest achievement of the entire campaign. The look on his face right now must be absolutely priceless. And I'm not even there to see it. Tragic. Somewhere in Gold City, covered in blood, pockets full of gold, belt decorated with a prince's severed head, surrounded by 10,000 soldiers who worship me like a deity. I have just become the single most talked about person in the entire Ming military apparatus. The emperor knows my name. The crown prince is my sponsor. The supreme commander just read my highlight reel out loud. And the most famous general in the empire is standing in a tent having an existential crisis because I outperformed him. Not bad for a guy who was a nobody frontier soldier 3 months ago. So the news of my little Gold City renovation project reaches supreme headquarters, and the reactions are exactly what you'd expect. Feng Sheng reads. Fu Yud's battle report out loud to the entire command tent. General Zhu Ying volunteered to assault Gold City with cavalry, broke through the gates, fought for a day and a night, conquered the city, and personally beheaded the enemy commander, Yuan Prince Manjier. Every jaw in that tent hits the floor simultaneously. You could hear a pin drop. Then Feng Sheng starts cackling like a man who just got a pardon from death row, because that's basically what happened. The emperor's angry message arrived minutes ago saying, I'm very displeased with all of you. And now Feng Sheng has a victory report to send back. I literally saved this man's career. But the real entertainment? Lan Yu's face. This man, the self-proclaimed greatest general in the Ming dynasty, the guy who was just standing up promising to break Kaiyuan in 10 days, is watching his entire world collapse in real time. Cavalry broke a city? That's impossible. How? He just formed that unit. The report must be wrong. Feng Sheng, grinning. Nope. It's real. But how did cavalry break the gates? We've been using battering rams for weeks, and they don't work. How does a horse? The messenger shrugs. Only General Zhu knows how he did it. But the city is taken. Manjier is dead, and that's confirmed. You can practically see the gears grinding in Lan Yu's head. He's not just upset about losing the race to break through first. He's seeing the political implications. Every victory I stack up is another brick in the wall the emperor is building against the Huaishi faction. I'm the replacement model. the newer, shinier version. And I just outperformed their entire veteran officer corps in front of the whole empire. So Lan Yu tries the most desperate move possible. Sir, perhaps we should wait to report this to the capital. We should verify the numbers, count casualties, get the full picture before. Translation. Please delay telling the emperor so I can break Kaiyuan first and share the spotlight. Feng Sheng sees right through it and shuts him down cold. The emperor just sent us a message saying he's furious about our lack of results. We finally get results, and you want me to SIT on them? Do you want the emperor to send a punishment decree while we're hiding a victory report in our desk drawer? Lan Yu. That I wouldn't dare, sir. Destroyed. Feng Sheng isn't playing favorites. He's playing survival. The emperor's wrath is scarier than any Huaishi general's feelings, and Feng Sheng knows it. Send the report to the capital immediately. Include every detail of Zhu Ying's achievements, and put MY name on the commendation. I'm personally requesting rewards for him. Lan Yu is standing there with clenched fists watching his political nightmare get stamped and sealed for express delivery to the emperor. And now I understand why Zhu Yuanzhang chose Feng Sheng as supreme commander instead of Lan Yu. Feng Sheng is Huaishi, but he's not stupid Huaishi. He doesn't swagger, he doesn't scheme, he follows the emperor's lead. He's there specifically to keep attack dogs like Lan Yu on a leash. And the leash just got yanked. Feng Sheng turns back to business. Now that Gold City has fallen, Nahachu's defensive line is cracked. Kaiyuan's garrison will be shaken. Lan Yu, press the attack. Hard. Yes, sir. Lan Yu bows, but his face looks like he swallowed a porcupine. Because here's the thing. Even if Lan Yu breaks Kaiyuan tomorrow, it's second place now. I already took first prize. He'll be the guy who finished the job after the unknown kid from the border showed everyone how it's done. For a man with Lan Yu's ego, that's worse than losing. Meanwhile, back in the Daning officers' quarters, my people are having a party. Ha ha ha. Did you see Lan Yu's face? Those Huaishi generals spent the whole campaign trying to block us, steal our credit, keep us in the back, and our boy Zhu Ying just took the #1 achievement of the entire war. The kid is unreal. Cavalry breaking a fortress. How did he even do that? The Daning border army officers are drinking and celebrating like it's New Year's. For years they've been treated as second-class soldiers by the Huaishi elite, sidelined, disrespected, shoved into support roles. And now one of their own just embarrassed every famous general in the empire. I'm not there to see any of this, of course. I'm still in Gold City, probably elbow deep in a dead prince's treasury, making sure my pocket dimension is nice and full before anyone comes to do an official inventory. But even from 1,000 miles away, I can feel the Huaishi faction's collective blood pressure rising. Lan Yu is seething. Zhao Yong and Wang Bai are plotting revenge in some dark corner. And every single one of them is asking the same question. How did that kid break a city with cavalry? And I'm never going to tell them. Let them lose sleep over it forever. Back at the Daning officers' quarters, my people are having the time of their lives. General Chun Hung is laughing so hard, he might pull a muscle. And even the normally serious civilian official Bu Wan is getting rowdy. If only we could drink in camp. This deserves a celebration. Did you see Lan Yu's face when the report came in? The man looked like he swallowed a cactus. Those Huaishi generals spent the whole campaign shoving us into garbage support roles, making sure we never got near any glory. And now, the biggest achievement of the entire war belongs to Daning. They're absolutely giddy. Years of being treated like second-class soldiers by the Huaishi elite, and one of their own just dunked on the entire establishment. It's their Super Bowl. But Bu Wan, being the responsible adult in the room, brings the mood down just a notch. This is going to make the Huaishi faction target Zhu Ying even harder. We need to warn him. Chun Hung nods. He literally stole their war credit. They won't forgive that. Lu Jin shrugs. Sure, but the emperor and crown prince are watching him now. They can't go too far. True. But not too far, for Huaishi generals still leaves a lot of room for backstabbing. Anyway, Gold City is officially pacified. The fighting's done, the stragglers are hiding, and order is being restored. Some Yuan soldiers stripped off their uniforms and are pretending to be civilians, but they'll get flushed out eventually. This city belongs to the Ming dynasty now. Fu Yud arrives at the palace with his bodyguards, and I'm there at the front to greet him with my officers. Welcome, General Fu. He takes one look at me, still covered in blood, exhausted but standing tall, and his face breaks into the warmest smile I've seen on a military commander. General Zhu, you've truly outdone yourself. I honestly didn't expect you to actually break this city. I give him the humble response, just doing my duty as a soldier of the great Ming, sir, and I mean it with Fu Yud. This man isn't like those Huaishi clowns. He's my direct superior. He protected me in the war council. He gave me the chance to prove myself, and he personally recommended me for commendation. That's respect, and I return it in full. Your achievements have already been reported to General Feng Sheng, he tells me, patting my shoulder. The Emperor will reward you handsomely. Thank you, General. Then I reach for my belt and pull off the 2 heads I've been carrying around like the world's worst charm bracelet. Plop, plop. 2 severed heads hit the ground in front of everyone. This one's Prince Mangier, commander of Gold City. And this one is Salaton, commander of 50,000. Fu Yud's eyebrows shoot up. Salaton? That's one of Nahachu's top generals. The military recorder confirms he's got everything documented. 2 enemy commanders, one of them royalty, personally killed by yours truly. That's going in the official report to the Emperor with my name in big characters. And then, because I am physically incapable of letting a good trolling opportunity pass, I turn toward Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, who are standing off to the side looking like they're at their own funeral. General Fu, I must say, I could never have earned this achievement without the generous recommendation of Commander Zhao and Commander Wang. They insisted I take this mission. Really pushed for it. I owe them everything. Fu Yud gives me a knowing look. The man sees exactly what I'm doing, but says nothing. Zhao Yong and Wang Bai, their faces could strip paint off walls. This is the 3rd time I've publicly thanked them for recommending me, and every time it's a dagger wrapped in a compliment. The whole army knows they pushed me into this mission expecting me to fail, and now every thank you is a reminder that they literally gave away the war's greatest achievement out of petty spite. They're going to hear about their generous recommendation for the rest of their careers. I'll make sure of it. Fu Yud moves on to business, orders the military recorder to tally up all kills and casualties, then invites everyone into the palace for a war council. Inside, Fu Yud spots Mangier's tiger skin throne and very pointedly does not sit on it. He has a regular chair brought in instead. Smart man. Sitting on an enemy king's throne is the kind of thing that gets reported to the Emperor by the Jinyui, the secret police who are definitely hiding among all of our guards. One wrong move, and the Emperor hears, Fu Yud sat on a royal throne, and suddenly your whole career is a question mark. Everyone takes their seats, and, surprise, surprise, the Huaishi generals all grab the best positions and shove me to the very last seat on the right side. Dead last. The guy who broke the city, killed 2 commanders, and won the campaign's top achievement is sitting in the equivalent of the kids' table at Thanksgiving. Do I care? Not even a little. Let them play their petty seating games. While they're rearranging chairs, I'm rearranging the entire military hierarchy. This single battle is enough to promote me from regional commissioner to vice commander. Authority over 25,000 troops across 5 battalions. They can put me in the last seat all they want. The Emperor's reward letter won't care where I was sitting. First things first, I've got 4 treasure chests burning a hole in my inventory. 3 tier, 1 chests, and 1 normal. 1 from breaking 2,000 all stats, 1 from killing Prince Mangier, 1 from personally killing over 2,000 enemies, and 1 from beheading that 50,000-man Commander Salaton. But those will have to wait. War Council first, loot boxes later. Fu Yud kicks off the meeting. Let's assess the enemy situation in Gold City. Commander Zhao and Zhao Yong. This petty little man stands up and goes, I wouldn't know, sir. I wasn't the first one into the city. I wasn't the first one to reach the palace. You should ask General Zhu, since apparently he did everything. The passive aggression is so thick you could cut it with my green rainbow sword. He's basically throwing a tantrum at Fu Yud for supporting me. In front of everyone. Real professional, buddy. I step in before Fu Yud has to deal with this nonsense, based on our engagement and the enemy forces that fled through the East Gate. We eliminated or captured over 40,000 Yuan soldiers. Roughly 30,000 escaped. Fu Yud nods. Excellent. If our casualties are manageable, this is a decisive victory. General Zhu, your unit took the heaviest fighting. What are your losses? under 2,000 total. About 1,000 killed, 1,000 wounded. The room goes dead quiet. Then the Huaishi generals erupt. Zhao Yong snorts. 2,000? You expect us to believe that? You led 10,000 men in a frontal assault against tens of thousands of defenders and only lost 2,000? Are you lying to inflate your record and pocket the death benefits? Wang Bai piles on. My forces entered after yours, and I lost 3 to 4,000. Your unit was at the tip of the spear. You should have lost at least 5,000. The other Huaishi officers start clucking like a henhouse. He's making it up. Impossible numbers. Fraud. I don't even blink. Every one of my soldiers fought with extraordinary courage. The numbers are what they are. If any of you gentlemen are suggesting I would falsify casualty reports to steal death benefits from fallen soldiers' families, well, I can't speak for what other commanders might do, but I would never. The military inspector is welcome to audit my battalion anytime. If I'm lying, military law can deal with me. Silence. I just implied, without actually saying it, that they're the ones who fake casualty numbers to embezzle funds. And everyone in that room knows exactly what I meant. Zhao Yong and Wang Bai glare at me, but shut their mouths. They can't push further without demanding an actual investigation, which would probably uncover their own creative accounting. Here's the thing, my casualty numbers are real. They just can't comprehend how because they don't know about my cheat codes. My commander's seal gives every soldier under me an 80% boost to combat power, morale, and stamina. My men are fighting at nearly double their normal capacity. And me personally, I was at the front the entire time. One-man armying through their defenses like a human bulldozer, clearing the path so my soldiers barely had to face the worst of it. I'm basically a walking shield for my entire army. These numbers are only possible because of me, and nobody can replicate it. Ever. Fuyut accepts my report and moves on to strategy. Gold City is taken, but 30,000 Yuan soldiers fled east toward Gaizhou. They need to be hunted down before Nahachu can reorganize them. And here is where Zhao Yong makes his move. Not a military move, a political one. My 1st Cavalry Battalion is already pursuing the fleeing enemy. They've been resting and are fresh for the chase. He immediately starts dominating the discussion, volunteering for every follow-up mission, cutting me out of every assignment. Wang Bai backs him up. The other Huaishi generals pile in. They monopolize the entire pursuit strategy without leaving me a single role. Their message is crystal clear. You got the big prize, but we're not letting you touch anything else. And honestly, I'm completely fine with that. I already got the campaign's #1 achievement. Gatebreaker, City Taker, Prince Killer. Everything from here until we reach Nahachu's capital at Liaoyang is just cleanup, small fry pursuit missions and skirmishes. The real final battle is at Liaoyang, and there'll be plenty of glory there. So go ahead, boys. Fight over the scraps. I'll rest my troops while you exhaust yours chasing stragglers through the countryside. When the real fight comes, we'll see who's fresh and who's running on fumes. After the meeting, I head straight to the field hospital instead of my tent. The scene hits different when it's your men lying there. Nearly 1,000 wounded, most of them serious. Arrow wounds, deep sword cuts, spear punctures. The moans and screams fill the night air. I find the head doctor, an old man named Yan. How bad is it, doctor? He looks at me with tired, honest eyes. Nearly 1,000 wounded, mostly critical. With what we have, if 30% survive, that would be a good outcome. 30%. 700 of my brothers might die from their wounds even after surviving the battle. The comedy stops here for a minute. These aren't numbers on a report. These are men who charged through a gate behind me, who trusted me with their lives, who screamed, "Follow the general to the death," and meant it. Some of them are going to die in this tent tonight, and all the treasure chests and stat points in the world can't change that. But maybe my hemostatic powder can. The old army doctor tells me the survival rate for my wounded with the calm detachment of a man who's watched too many soldiers die. 30%. That's it. 700 of my brothers might not make it. I ask him what's killing them, and he lists the greatest hits of medieval medicine failures. Pus poisoning, infection, wound spasm, tetanus, and good old-fashioned bleeding to death. He says if they could just stop the bleeding, survival jumps to 60%. But the imperial-grade wound powder is the best medicine in the known world, and even that isn't cutting it. There's nothing better than the Ming Dynasty's official hemostatic powder, he says with absolute certainty. Oh, Dr. Yin. Sweet, innocent Dr. Yin. You have no idea what's about to happen. Lule, the box. Lule steps forward carrying a wooden case. Inside, 12 bottles of my system-generated premium hemostatic powder. The stuff that saved hundreds of my soldiers in the northern steppe. The medicine that doesn't exist anywhere else on this planet. This is a family recipe, I tell him, because a magical game system gave it to me. Doesn't exactly inspire medical confidence. Use the regular imperial powder first. If it doesn't work, use this. Dr. Yin opens a bottle, takes one sniff, and his eyes go wide. What I ask this? I can smell dozens of medicinal compounds, but I can't identify a single one individually. This formulation is impossible. It also accelerates wound healing and works on infected wounds. Cut out the pus, apply this, and it helps. The old man looks at me like I just handed him the holy grail of battlefield medicine, which, honestly, I kind of did. 12 bottles. If used carefully, dozens, maybe 100, of my brothers will survive who otherwise wouldn't. It's not enough to save everyone, but every life counts. These men charge through a gate behind me screaming, "Follow the general to the death." The least I can do is make sure fewer of them actually have to. I tell Dr. Yin to send someone if he needs anything, then leave him to work. Walking through that hospital tent, hearing my soldiers moaning and crying. That's the part of war nobody celebrates. No treasure chest for that. No stat bonuses. Just pain. Anyway, back at my tent, there's a barrel of hot water waiting for me. Thank God. I strip off my blood-caked armor. The stuff is practically shellacked onto me at this point. Toss my ruined uniform in a corner and sink into the water. The blood starts dissolving off my skin in red clouds. I've got fresh cuts and scrapes everywhere. Sword nicks, spear grazes, a few shallow stab wounds, but nothing serious. My body is so far beyond normal human durability that these wounds are already closing up on their own. Give it an hour and they'll be gone. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. Time to check the stats. Attribute panel. Age, 14 years old, still a child by modern standards. Currently the most dangerous teenager on the planet. Internal energy, 2,458. Strength, 2,764. Speed, 2,562. Constitution, 2,456. Endurance, 2,313. Spirit, 2,234. Lifespan, 112 years, 17,212 days. Storage space, 29 cubic meters, all stats past 2,000. Most of them heading toward 3,000. My strength is nearly at 2,800. I'm hitting like a tank. And my lifespan? Let me do that math. 112 years plus roughly 47 more years from the bonus days. That's 159 years of life. I have literally killed my way into immortality-adjacent territory. Every enemy soldier I cut down adds days to my existence. The more I fight, the longer I live. It's the most beautifully broken game mechanic ever designed. This single battle pushed me hard. Nearly 3,000 personal kills. Over 7,000 total stat points gained. 12,000 extra days of lifespan. That's 33 years of life earned in one day and night of fighting. I went into Gold City as a strong fighter and came out as something approaching a demigod. And I'm only 14. I've been in the military for less than a year. The world is massive. There are enemies to the north, south, west. Dozens of nations. Thousands of battlefields yet to come. Every single one of them is a buffet of stats and lifespan waiting for me. I lean back in the warm water, close my eyes, and grin. I'm going to kill my way into an era that belongs to me. But first, I've got 4 treasure chests to open. And I am vibrating with anticipation. Right after this bath, though, even future emperors need to wash the blood off sometimes. All right, bath time is treasure chest time. For boxes waiting. Let's go. Open everything. Normal chest. 10 more bottles of premium hemostatic powder. Okay, solid, practical, my wounded brothers need this right now. Tier 1 chest number 1. The recipe for premium hemostatic powder. Tier 1 chest number 2, 1 skill point. Tier 1 chest number 3, 1 great revival pill. I stare at this haul and, honestly, I'm a little underwhelmed. 3 tier 1 chests and not a single new weapon or advanced martial art. No legendary armor. No ancient forbidden technique. Just medicine, a mystery point, and a pill. But then my brain catches up to my disappointment. The hemostatic powder recipe. I've been wishing for this. Every bottle I use is gone forever, but with the recipe, I can manufacture unlimited supply. This one formula could save thousands of soldiers across future campaigns. That's not just humanitarian. That's a massive political achievement waiting to happen. If I introduce this to the Ming military medical system, the emperor will be throwing titles at me like confetti. But I'm not going to just hand it over like an idiot. I gave Dr. Yen my existing bottles tonight. I'll let him discover how incredible the powder is. Let him rave about it to the military brass, and then I graciously reveal that I happen to have the recipe. Let the demand build before I reveal the supply. Business 101, baby. The skill point is interesting. It can instantly level up any martial technique by 1 tier. I could use it now on my current skills, but they're all low-grade stuff I can improve through practice anyway. Better to save it for when I get a truly powerful technique. No point turbocharging a Honda when I'm waiting for a Ferrari. The Great Revival Pill. I'll pocket that for emergencies. After the chest opening, I clean up, change into fresh clothes, and lie down on my cot. My mind drifts to my storage space, 29 cubic meters, and about 80% of it is now packed with gold, silver, and jewels from Mangir's treasury. A quick mental estimate puts the value at 300,000 to 400,000 silver taels of purchasing power. I'm not the richest person in the empire, but I'm definitely top 10 in the Daning region. And the beautiful part? Fuyid came to the palace, saw the treasury had been lightened, and said nothing. Military tradition. Unspoken rule. The guy who takes the palace gets first dibs on what's inside. Everyone knows. Nobody talks about it. I love the ancient Chinese honor system. Very flexible when it needs to be. My thoughts wander south to Beiping. To Uncle Lin, the old butler who raised me. To Shun Yuer, the girl I grew up protecting. Technically a daughter of the Shin family, but treated worse than their servants. A young miss. Title with zero actual respect behind it. The Shin family. Those snakes. They tricked me into coming to Daning and forced me into military service just to get rid of me and cancel our family's marriage arrangement. If I find out they laid a finger on Uncle Lin, my eyes go cold. Actually cold. If the Shun family touched Uncle Lin, I will erase them. Root and branch. Every last one. And I mean it. I'm not the helpless kid they shipped off to die anymore. I'm a war hero with superhuman abilities, imperial backing, and enough gold to hire an army. Which actually gives me an idea. I need people who work in the shadows. Loyal operatives who answer only to me. Not soldiers, agents. People who can protect my family, gather intelligence, and handle problems that can't be solved with a sword on a battlefield. Every great power in history has had them. Shadow guards. Dead soldiers. The guys you never see until it's too late. I've got the money. I've got the reputation to attract talent. Time to start building my underground network. Meanwhile, in the field hospital, Dr. Yen is putting my hemostatic powder to work. The regular imperial wound medicine is. Failing on the worst cases, blood just won't stop. And he's reaching for my bottles as a last resort. He doesn't fully trust this mystery powder from a teenage general's family recipe, but desperate times call for desperate measures. He sprinkles it on a wound that won't close. The bleeding stops. His hands freeze. He stares at the wound, then at the bottle, then back at the wound. I'm not there to see his reaction, but I'm pretty sure his world just got rocked. The best medicine in the Ming Dynasty's imperial pharmacy couldn't do what this powder just did in 5 seconds. And I've got the recipe to make infinite amounts of it. Sometimes the treasure chests that seem boring turn out to be the most valuable ones of all. Now, while I'm soaking in a bathtub in conquered Gold City counting my treasure, something is happening a few hundred miles west that I don't know about yet. And honestly, when I eventually hear this story, it's going to hit me right in the feelings. Uncle Lin, my old butler, the man who raised me, the closest thing I have to family, just showed up at Huizhou City on the Daning border. And he's not alone. Shen Yuer is with him, the Shun family's neglected daughter, who grew up more like a servant than a young miss. The girl I protected since we were kids. They traveled all the way from Beiping to find me. In a war zone, an old man and a young woman crossing hundreds of miles of dangerous territory because Yuer heard the Shen family was planning something against me, and Uncle Lin grabbed her and ran. They get to the city gate at night, and the guards stop them. Papers? Uncle Lin hands over their travel documents. Everything checks out. Lin Fu and Shen Yuer, registered in Beiping. The guard asks why they're here. looking for my young master. He was conscripted into the Daning border army almost a year ago, and we haven't heard from him since. The guard gives Uncle Lin this look. That pitying, uncomfortable look soldiers give to families who come searching for loved ones during wartime. I don't want to be the one to tell you look. Old sir, Daning has been at war even before the Liaodong campaign started. We've lost a lot of brothers. I can't go past the border. The whole region east of here is a battlefield. You can stay in town and try asking around tomorrow. Yuer's face falls. Uncle Lin's voice goes quiet. I understand. My young master's name is Zhu. If you happen to know where he is, even if the worst happened, please tell me. At least I can give him a proper burial. The old man is literally preparing himself to find my corpse. He's been traveling through a region covered in fresh graves and military camps, watching soldiers march off to die. And in his heart, he's already accepted the worst. He's just hoping to find my body. And privately, Uncle Lin is making a vow. Shin family. Shin Wansan. If my young master is dead, I will drag your entire clan to hell with me even if it kills me. Yuer is standing beside him trying not to cry, thinking, Zhuing Gij. Is he really? But then, the guard's face does something weird. His eyes go wide. His whole body language shifts. Wait. Hold on. What did you say his name was? Zhuing. Is he about 16 years old? Uncle Lin almost corrects him. I'm actually 14. The Shin family fake my age up, but catches himself and nods. The guard's face explodes into excitement. Brothers, you're not going to believe this. This is General Zhu's family. Every soldier at that gate stops what they're doing and stares. Their expressions transform from bored night shift energy to pure reverence. Uncle Lin is completely lost. General? No. You must have the wrong person. My young master just enlisted less than a year ago. He can't possibly be a general. The guard is practically bouncing. Sir, you cannot call me sir anymore. Your young master is General Zhuing. He's the hero of all of Daning. His name is famous across the entire northern frontier. He rode into the steppe with 4,000 cavalry and made the barbarian tribes cry at the sound of his name. Parents up north literally use Zhu. Ing is coming to scare their children into behaving. The other guards are piling on. General Zhu's name. Everyone in Daning knows it. He killed tens of thousands of enemies. He just came back with 10,000 captured warhorses. He's probably about to do something incredible again. Uncle Lin and Yuer are standing there with their mouths hanging open, brains completely short-circuited. They came here expecting to find a grave. Instead, they found out the boy they were mourning is the most famous military hero in the entire region. The kid the Shin family threw away like garbage? The boy they tricked into conscription hoping he'd die in obscurity? He's a general now. And somewhere in Gold City, lying in a bathtub full of bloody water with a pocket dimension stuffed with royal treasure, I have absolutely no idea that the two people I care about most in this world just arrived in Daning looking for me. But when I find out, the Shun family better start running. So while I'm in Gold City dealing with post-battle logistics, something hilarious is happening back at Huizhou City that I don't know about yet. Uncle Lin and Yuer are sitting in a government and having the most confused conversation of their lives. Linbo, do you think those soldiers were telling the truth? Zhuing Gij is a general? Uncle Lin shakes his head with a patient smile. Absolutely not. They've got the wrong person. Our young master enlisted less than a year ago. He's a new recruit. There is no universe in which a new recruit becomes a general in under 12 months. It's physically impossible. So what do? Maybe we can use this other General Zhu to help us find our Zhuing. Convenient coincidence, same name. These two precious, innocent souls are sitting there certain that there's been a mix-up. Because in their minds, the last time they saw me, I was a teenager getting shipped off to military service by a treacherous merchant family. The idea that that kid is now a legendary war hero whose name makes barbarian children cry? Completely, utterly unthinkable. Meanwhile, Guard Xiaohan runs back to his post, vibrating with excitement. Boys, this is our golden ticket. If those two really are General Zhu's family, and we're the ones who found them and took care of them, we could get transferred to his unit. Real border army. Real pay. Real glory. We are not letting this opportunity slip. His entire squad of gate guards is suddenly the most motivated group of soldiers in the Ming dynasty. They went from bored night shift nobodies to potential VIPs in the span of one conversation. The power of my reputation is wild. But there's something darker lurking outside. In the shadows beyond the city walls, a dozen figures are watching the gate with cold eyes. They went inside. What now? Too risky to enter at night. We wait until morning, and they melt back into the darkness. Somebody sent people after Uncle Lin and Yuer. Shin family? Jingyue? Someone else? Whoever they are, they've been following my people across hundreds of miles of countryside, and they're not here to deliver flowers. If anything happens to Uncle Lin or Yuer because of those shadows, well, let's just say my kill count is about to get a lot more domestic. Back in Gold City, it's the morning after. The cleanup crews are rolling in, rear-line soldiers with face masks and ox carts, hauling bodies out of the city by the hundreds. Yuan soldiers get stripped of their armor and weapons, recycled, iron is iron, then dumped in mass graves outside town. No ceremony. That's just how war works. Nobody gives the enemy a nice funeral. Our fallen Ming soldiers get proper treatment, though. Each one identified by their military tags, names recorded in the casualty registry, families to be notified and compensated. It's not much, but it's something. The city itself is still on lockdown. Civilians hiding behind closed doors, shops shuttered, the whole population holding their breath wondering if the new conquerors are going to be better or worse than the old ones. And for the thousands of Han Chinese living here who've been treated as subhuman by the Yuan for generations, forced to hand over their brides on wedding nights, taxed into poverty, beaten for sport. This could be liberation or just a different flavor of hell. Fu Yud calls a meeting to discuss what to do with the city, and the Huaishi generals immediately show who they are. Kill all the Yuan people. Seize their property. That's how we've always done it. Yeah, standard procedure. Slaughter and loot. They all deserve to die. Every single Huaishi officer is screaming for blood. Not because it's strategically sound, because that's how they get paid. Kill the conquered nobles, steal their stuff, split the treasure. It's their business model, and they're very committed to it. Fu Yud sits there watching them yell with this cold, measured expression, then drops one line that shuts the whole room up. You want to kill all Yuan people? The Ming dynasty currently has plenty of former Yuan soldiers and officials serving us loyally. Are you going to murder them too? Silence. The Huaishi generals suddenly remember that ethnic cleansing is, in fact, bad politics when your own empire is full of the same ethnic group you're proposing to exterminate. I'm sitting in my corner watching this circus and mentally taking notes. These idiots would burn the entire city to the ground for a quick payday. No strategy. No long-term thinking. Just kill everyone. Take everything. And these are the generals the empire relies on? No wonder the emperor wants to replace them with me. Fu Yud's cold stare shuts down the kill all Yuan people crowd instantly. And he's right. The Ming dynasty already has tons of former Yuan soldiers and officials serving loyally. You can't exactly announce death to all Mongols when your own army is partially Mongol. That's called shooting yourself in the foot with a cannon. And here's what I'm thinking while these idiots argue about ethnic cleansing. In a few decades, when Zhu Yuanzhang dies and his idiot grandson Zhu Yunwen takes over, the Mongol cavalry units, the Duoyan 3 guards, recruited from right here in conquered Liaodong, that become the backbone of Zhu Di's army during the Civil War. These enemy soldiers become the winning weapon of a future emperor. Killing them all now would literally change the course of Chinese history. But I can't exactly say that without explaining how I know the future, so I keep my mouth shut about the specifics. Fu Yud turns to me. General Zhu, what's your suggestion? I stand up. Let the local Han Chinese civilians identify which Yuan nobles were cruel oppressors. Execute those ones publicly. Confiscate their property. Wipe out their families as an example. But the Yuan people who treated civilians fairly? Treat them as Ming citizens. Win their loyalty. Let them serve the empire. That's how you build lasting control. Fu Yud's eyes light up. Excellent. We'll do exactly that. The Huaishi generals look annoyed but can't argue because it's clearly the smarter approach and it aligns with imperial policy. Outmaneuvered by the teenager again. Then I asked to be assigned to the next operation instead of sitting around resting. The Huaishi officers immediately try to bench me. Oh, General Zhu worked so hard. He should rest. Take a break. Relax. Translation, please stop stealing our achievements. But Fu Yud asks the military inspector for my actual casualty numbers, and the room goes quiet. 1st Cavalry Battalion total casualties, 2,158. Killed in action, 1,075. Wounded, 1,083. Every single Huaishi general's jaw hits the floor. That's impossible. He was the first one in. Frontline the entire time. We entered after him and lost over 5,000. Total army casualties exceeded 10,000, and his unit only lost 2,000. Fu Yud stares at the inspector. These numbers are verified? Personally verified, sir. We sent our own people into his camp to count. Numbers are accurate. Fu Yud turns to me with genuine bewilderment. How? I give him the honest answer, minus the cheat codes. Since my first command, I've lived by one rule. The general doesn't hide. The soldiers don't fear. I charge first, always. When your men see their commander leading from the front, they fight harder, they fight smarter, and they fight without fear. That's all. Fu Yud nods slowly, then gives me a fatherly warning about how charging first is noble, but also a great way to die. I thank him for his concern and tell him if I die on a battlefield, that's a soldier's highest honor. Even a few Huaishi generals flash something in their eyes that looks suspiciously like respect. They still hate my guts politically, but warrior recognizes warrior. Fu Yud assigns me to swing around toward Kaiyuan City, cut off their supply lines, and squeeze them from behind while Lanyu attacks from the front. Perfect. The pursuit to Gaizhou is already crowded with Huaishi forces fighting over scraps, but Kaiyuan is a fresh opportunity. More kills, more stats, more glory. And then, right on cue, Dr. Yin comes bursting into the hall. General Fu, I must speak with you. The old man is practically vibrating with excitement. He spots me, and his eyes go wide like he's looking at a saint. The hemostatic powder General Zhu gave me. It's a miracle drug. Every soldier who was bleeding to death stopped. Infected wounds after draining, accelerated healing. Survival rate jumped from 30% to nearly 80%. If we had enough of this powder for the whole army, we could save countless soldiers. The room goes absolutely silent. Every general is staring at me. Fu Yud processes this. So General Zhu gave you a medicine that doubled the survival rate of wounded soldiers. More than doubled. This isn't just effective medicine. It's the most powerful wound treatment I've seen in my entire career. The Imperial Pharmacy's best product can't even compare. Fu Yud looks at me. The Huaishi generals look at me. Everyone is waiting for the obvious question. Where did this miracle powder come from? And can they get more? And I, having planned this moment since last night, like the magnificent strategic genius I am, stand up and deliver my line. For the sake of Ming Dynasty soldiers who risk their lives on the battlefield, I wish to donate my family's secret hemostatic powder formula to the Imperial Court. I pulled a recipe from inside my jacket, already copied, out, already prepared, because I knew this moment was coming, and hold it up. The silence is deafening. Fu Yud stares at me. Then he walks down from his chair, crosses the entire hall, and bows to me. A full, deep bow. The commanding general of this army is bowing to a junior officer. General Zhu, this bow has no rank, no hierarchy. This bow is on behalf of every soldier in the Ming Dynasty's million-man army. This formula will save countless lives. You deserve this bow. And then, I am not making this up, every single general in the room walks over and bows too, including the Huaishi generals. The same guys who've been scheming against me, mocking me, trying to sabotage my career. They're all standing there bowing and saying, General Zhu, your virtue is beyond measure. Some of them actually look ashamed. I can see it in their eyes. They're thinking, we've been plotting against this kid, and he just gave away a priceless family heirloom to save soldiers' lives. Are we the bad guys? Yes. Yes, you are. But I'll accept your bow anyway. I hand the formula to Fu Yud with one condition. Send it directly to the capital by express courier. This cannot leak to foreign nations. If enemies get this formula, it becomes a weapon against us. Fu Yud seals it in an urgent dispatch tube without even reading it, then addresses the room. Anyone who speaks of this formula outside this hall faces military law. No exceptions. Then, privately, Fu Yud is thinking, this boy refused any reward. But I will petition the emperor for him. This formula alone is worth more than breaking 10 cities. Even the Huaishi generals are having a crisis of conscience. Maybe we've been wrong about this kid. And then Fuyu drops one more surprise. I heard your horse died in battle. Come with me. He grabs my hand and walks me outside, and there, standing in the courtyard, is the most magnificent horse I have ever seen. Jet black, muscular, tall, powerful legs, glossy coat, bigger than any normal warhorse by a full size. My eyes go wide. Is that a Fergana blood-sweating horse, the legendary warhorse breed, the Ferrari of ancient cavalry, the horse that empires went to war over? Fuyud is grinning at me like a dad who just gave his kid the best birthday present ever. Today I donated a priceless medical formula, earned the respect of every general in the army, even my enemies, got assigned to a fresh battlefield with plenty of kills waiting, and received a legendary warhorse as a personal gift. And they said being the good guy doesn't pay. So Fuyud confirms the black horse is a Fergana blood sweater, the same breed as the legendary Wuzhui that carried the hegemon king of Western Shu into battle 2,000 years ago, founded in Manjir's personal stable. Apparently the dead prince couldn't even tame it, and Fuyud figured, hey, might as well give the untamable murder horse to the untamable murder teenager. I hop on. The horse immediately tries to kill me. Rears up, bucks, screams, starts sprinting around the courtyard like a furry black tornado. Pure wild animal rage. Get off me, human. That's all you got. I squeeze my legs tighter. The horse goes crazier, zigzagging, bucking harder, trying every trick in the equine playbook. I increase the pressure. More. My thighs are basically hydraulic presses at this point. The horse's legs buckle. It drops to its knees under the sheer weight of my strength, still struggling, still fighting, still refusing to, and then it stops. A soft whinny. Submission. Good boy. I ease off and the horse stands up, calm as a pond. Every general watching has their jaw on the floor. They never saw me fight in the dark during the siege, so this is their first real glimpse of my physical power. A warhorse that a Yuan prince couldn't break, tamed in under a minute by raw strength alone. I name him Wufeng, Black Edge, because he's black as midnight and sharp as a blade. Fuyud grins and says he hopes Wufeng becomes as legendary as the hegemon king's Wuzhui. So do I, general. So do I. Meanwhile, and I don't know about this yet, things are getting very interesting in Beiping. Prince Zhu Di, the future Yongle emperor, the man who will one day seize the throne in a civil war, is sitting in his palace reading a secret intelligence report about me. And he is deeply concerned. This kid broke Gold City with cavalry, 80,000 defenders. And he did it how? His advisor, the infamous monk Yao Guangxiao, the guy who will literally mastermind Zhu Di's rebellion, is sitting there clicking his prayer beads like a Bond villain. Zhu Di asks him, remember that Zhuing kid from the northern steppe raids? Naturally. Young hero, remarkable abilities. Well, he just smashed through Gold City, the fortress that stopped our entire army for half a month. And now he's got a full cavalry battalion, a noble title, and the crown prince personally backing him. Yao Guangxiao's eyes narrow. He gets it immediately. The crown prince isn't just rewarding a soldier. He's building up Daning's military power. More cavalry, more independence from the regular command structure. If Liaodong falls and those surrendered Yuan troops get reorganized under Daning, it won't be a frontier garrison anymore. It'll be a military region. Zhu Di's face goes tight. Because in his future plans, the ones he can't say out loud, Daning's forces are supposed to be available for him to use during his rebellion. But if the crown prince builds them into a loyal, independent military powerhouse under commanders like me, that plan gets a lot harder. If my brother lives long, Zhu Di says carefully, I'll put away any inappropriate thoughts. While he's alive, I have no chance. Yao Guangxiao smiles that creepy monk smile. I promised you a white hat, Your Highness. I won't break that promise. If I'm wrong, take my head. A white hat means adding the character for white above king, making the character for emperor. This monk is literally promising to make Zhu Di emperor. The audacity. Then Zhu Di hands over a paper with my birth date from the military registry and asks Yao Guangxiao to do a fortune reading. The monk meditates for a while and opens his eyes looking confused. According to this birth date, this person should be completely mediocre. Well, he's not. Then either the birth date is wrong, or he's someone who defied fate itself. Yeah, about that, The Shin family faked my age when they conscripted me, so the birth date is wrong. But even if it were right, I'm pretty sure, guy with a magical stat collecting system from another world, falls under, defied fate, anyway. Zhu Di stares at my intelligence file and says quietly, if I can't recruit him in the future, he'll be a serious enemy. Noted, future emperor. Noted. Now, the capital, Ingtian. The imperial court. The emperor is in a decent mood for once. The finance ministry gets praised for keeping supply lines running. The war ministry reports 4,000 Daning soldiers killed and 1,000 discharged wounded. Crown Prince Zhu Biao immediately orders full death benefits, disability support, and job placement for the injured. Then Zhu Yuanzhang drops his signature line. Anyone who embezzles soldier benefits gets their entire extended family executed. Every minister in the room collectively clenches, because they know he means it. This is the emperor who wiped out the most powerful prime minister in Chinese history like swatting a fly. When Zhu Yuanzhang says 9 familial exterminations, he's not using a metaphor. Then he sighs. It's been a month since Fengsheng marched on Liaodong. Still no news. And then, urgent dispatch from Liaodong. From General Fengsheng, a courier sprints into the throne room, holding the report above his head. Zhu Yuanzhang's eyes light up. Finally, the chief eunuch carries the scroll to the imperial desk. Zhu Yuanzhang opens it, reads it, and his eyes go wide. He reads it again, then a third time, like he can't believe what he's seeing. Then he throws his head back and laughs. Liaodong, Zhuing, our great Ming truly has gained a brilliant young general. This boy is exceptional. Crown Prince Zhu Biao grins. What did Zhuing do now? He broke Gold City, shattered Nahachu's defensive line. With cavalry, the entire court is stunned. Every minister is doing confused math in their heads. Cavalry? Breaking a fortress? That held off the main army for half a month? And this is now the 4th time my name has been announced in the imperial court. Every single time, it's accompanied by some impossible battlefield achievement. At this point, the ministers are probably starting to wonder if Zhu Ying is even a real person or just a myth the military keeps inventing to make the emperor happy. Oh, I'm real all right. And I'm just getting started. Somewhere in Gold City, sitting on a legendary black warhorse with a pocket dimension full of gold and a body that could arm wrestle a bear. The 14-year-old kid that the Shun family threw away like yesterday's garbage is about to become the most famous soldier in the entire Ming Empire. Again. So while I'm back in Gold City bonding with my new murder horse, the imperial court in the capital is having a full meltdown over my battle report. Zhu Yuanzhang is so happy he makes his chief eunuch Cloud Qi read the entire dispatch out loud to the whole court. Every minister, every official, every bureaucrat gets to hear, in excruciating detail, how General Fengsheng's entire army failed for half a month, and then some teenager on a horse fixed the problem in one night. The court's reaction is beautiful chaos. The Huaishi veterans couldn't break it, but this kid did. Cavalry breaking a fortress? Is he even human? Lon, you must be having a stroke right now. This is great. Finally someone to put those arrogant Huaishi generals in their place. Every minister who's ever had beef with the Huaishi faction is practically doing backflips. They've been waiting years for someone to knock those generals down a peg, and I just did it by accident while trying to farm stat points. Politics is hilarious when you're winning. Crown Prince Zhu Biao steps up. Father, Zhuing deserves a major reward. He broke the gate, killed 2 enemy commanders including a Yuan prince, and delivered the first victory of the entire Liaodong campaign. Every minister in the room immediately. We agree. Reward him. The finance minister agrees. The war minister agrees. The rights minister agrees. The justice minister agrees. Even the grand secretaries agree. It's the most unanimous vote in Ming Dynasty history. Nobody is stupid enough to oppose what the emperor clearly wants and the crown prince just proposed. That's called choosing to keep your head attached. Zhu Biao announces my rewards. Promotion from regional commissioner to vice commander. That's authority over 25,000 troops. 5 battalions. 2 commissioners under me. Title: elevated from hereditary county baron to hereditary county viscount. That's jumping 2 noble ranks in one go. Bonus: 8,000 gold pieces. Again, the ministers collectively gasp. Some of them have served the dynasty for decades and don't have a noble title. I've been in the army for 7 months, and I'm already a viscount commanding 25,000 men. The phrase, meteoric rise, doesn't even cover it. I'm basically strapped to a rocket. Nobody objects. Not because they're all happy about it, but because opposing something the Emperor and the Crown Prince both support is basically writing your own death warrant. This is the Emperor who wiped out entire family lines for less. The court has 3 sheaths that can calm Zhu Yuanzhang's killing rage. Empress Ma, dead, Crown Prince Zhu Biao, present, and the late imperial grandson Zhu Xiongming, dead. 2 out of 3 sheaths are gone. If you piss off the Emperor now and the Crown Prince doesn't feel like saving you, say goodbye to your 9 familial relations. The War Minister Tang Duo raises a practical question. If Zhu Ying gets promoted, who takes over his old commissioner position? Zhu Biao handles it instantly. Whichever of his 2 battalion commanders entered Gold City first gets promoted to fill his old spot. The rest get promoted based on merit within his unit. As for restructuring, let Zhu Ying and the Daning military command figure it out themselves. Smooth. He's giving me authority to organize my own forces. That's not just a reward. That's trust. Imperial-level trust. Then Zhu Yuanzhang sends new orders to Fengshan. Gold City is down. Push forward steadily. Don't get greedy. They also discuss sending civilian administrators to govern the conquered territory. The Crown Prince has already picked the team, led by Tai Xian as prefect, supported by his own East Palace staff and 100 bureaucrats. Government infrastructure ready to deploy. These guys have been planning this. After court ends, the Emperor and Crown Prince retreat to the private study for a father-son chat that I would kill to eavesdrop on. Zhu Yuanzhang, relaxed now. This Zhu Ying kid is something else. Less than a year, and he's outperformed Fu Yud and Lan Yu, our founding generals. Embarrassing, really, Zhu Biao, grinning. Good. Let Lan Yu and the Huaishi crowd eat some humble pie. Maybe they'll behave better. Then Zhu Biao gets serious. But Zhu Ying is going to face serious targeting from the Huaishi faction now. Zhu Yuanzhang waves it off. As long as we're alive, they won't dare go too far. And honestly, a little adversity is good for him. Can't have everything be smooth sailing. He needs to toughen up politically, not just militarily. Then the Emperor shifts gears and starts talking about his sons, specifically the 12th and 17th princes. The 17th prince is turning 18 soon and needs a fief. And Zhu Yuanzhang reveals his grand plan. Once Liaodong is conquered, merge it with Daning. Station a royal prince there to govern. Create a full military command district with up to 100,000 troops, part under the prince's authority, part under direct imperial control, balanced for stability. And who would command those forces as the top military officer? Zhu Biao smiles. Father, it sounds like you've already picked the future commander-in-chief of this new military district. It's Zhu Ying, isn't it? Zhu Yuanzhang grins. A young, talented, loyal general who's not part of the Huaishi faction? Why wouldn't I want him there? Brave, skilled, excellent commander, and not arrogant, Zhu Biao lists off. I like him too. He's worth investing in. When there's a chance, bring him to the capital. I want to see this kid with my own eyes. The Emperor wants to meet me. The Crown Prince is personally designing my career trajectory. They're literally planning to make me the supreme military commander of an entire region with 100,000 troops. I went from disposable conscript the Shun family hoped would die in a ditch to cornerstone of imperial military strategy in 7 months. And I don't even know any of this is happening yet. I'm in Gold City naming my horse and counting my gold. Life is good. Gold City wasn't enough. Time for round 2. Kaiyuan City. Fu Yud sent me to swing around to Kaiyuan's back door while Lan Yu hammers the front. And boy is Lan Yu hammering. The man actually jumped off his command chariot, grabbed a shield and sword, and charged the walls personally. 300 cannons blasting, tens of thousands of soldiers climbing ladders, battering rams slamming the gate. Full send, maximum violence. Credit where it's due. Lan Yu is fighting like his reputation depends on it. Because it does. I stole his thunder at Gold City, and now he's desperate to prove he's still the baddest general in the empire. But while he's grinding his army against Kaiyuan's front gate like a battering ram made of human bodies, I'm approaching the back door on Wufeng with 8,000 cavalry. Brothers, Kaiyuan is right there. Who wants another city on their resume? Follow the general to the death. The East Gate defenders spot us approaching and immediately panic. Enemy attack. From the east. Wait, those are cavalry. No siege equipment. Are they actually going to attack us with horses? They must be insane. The Yuan commander calms down. Relax. They're cavalry. No battering rams, no ladders. They literally can't break through. Just shoot them when they get close. Oh, honey. You sweet, innocent fool. You clearly haven't heard what happened to Gold City's gate. Archers line up on the wall. Bows drawn. Waiting. Scatter. I yell to my troops. They split into multiple columns to avoid concentrated arrow fire. Woofing. Full speed. My beautiful black murder horse screams and launches forward like he was shot from a cannon. He pulls away from my own bodyguards in seconds. Arrows start raining down, and Woofing is dodging them like a horse playing bullet hell. Weaving left, darting right. Arrows thudding into the dirt all around us, but none hitting. This horse has combat instincts. He's not just fast, he's smart. Good boy. I deflect the arrows that come close with my saber, and in what feels like 3 heartbeats, I'm at the gate. Channel everything. Every drop of strength, nearly 3,000 points of it now. Internal energy surging through my arms, flooding into the tiger head saber. The blade starts humming with invisible force. Charge slash, I swing. The sound isn't metal hitting metal. It's more like reality splitting open. The blade doesn't just cut the gate, it obliterates it. Sparks, shrapnel, the gate shattering like glass. One swing, and the entire reinforced door disintegrates into chunks of twisted iron. Then I follow up with wild dance technique. Multiple slashes turning the remaining gate structure into confetti. The Yuan soldiers standing behind the gate are frozen in pure, existential horror. He cut through the gate. With a sword? That's not human. My bodyguards behind me, who actually saw it clearly this time, unlike at Gold City where it was dark, are having religious experiences. The general cut a city gate in half. He's the Hegemon King reborn. City walls mean nothing to this man. Woofing, charge. I spur forward and my horse slams into the defenders like a wrecking ball. Bodies go flying. Then the saber starts working. Swing, kill, swing, kill. 10 internal energy, 10 days. 10 constitution, 10 days. 10 strength, 15 days. The system is singing. Total personal kills exceed 3,000. Reward, 1 tier, 1 treasure chest, 3,000 confirmed kills. I've graduated from one-man army to one-man genocide. At this point, I should probably have my own Geneva Convention violation. My cavalry floods through the shattered gate behind me. Zhang Wu's battalion storms in, horses trampling everything. I send 2,000 soldiers to secure the gate and wall so our escape route stays open. Then take the rest and do what I do best. Kill through to the other side. Let's hit these guys from behind while Lan Yu hits from the front. Sandwich time. We carve through the east side of Kaiyuan like a hot knife through butter. The garrison here was only a few thousand. Most of the defenders were on the west wall fighting Lan Yu. They crumble in minutes. Meanwhile, my man Zhuang Wei gallops to the rear to deliver the news to Supreme Commander Feng Sheng. Sir, General Zhu broke through Kaiyuan's east gate. He's inside the city engaging the enemy. Feng Sheng's eyes go wide. Again, he just got here? How did he break the gate? Zhuang Wei, practically glowing with fanboy energy. The general is divine, sir. He cut the gate open. With his saber, Feng Sheng just shakes his head in disbelief. That young man, truly extraordinary. Inside Kaiyuan's command center, General Halishang, the Yuan commander, gets the news and his face turns white. The east gate fell? How? A Ming cavalry force broke through, sir. They're already inside and heading this way. His officers start screaming. We need to retreat. Gold City already fell. Nahachu pulled 30,000 of our troops back to Liaoyang. We only have 50,000 soldiers and 20,000 conscripts. We can't hold. Halishang knows they're right. Nahachu ordered him to hold for a month, but with me rampaging through his back door and Lan Yu bashing down his front door, staying means total annihilation. Order all civilian conscripts onto the walls to buy time. 3,000 soldiers stay as rear guard. Everyone else, retreat through. Wait, the east gate is, yeah, the east gate is mine now. Your escape route just became my killing field. Halishang improvises a breakout plan while I'm busy turning his garrison into experience points. Out front, Lan Yu notices something weird. The arrows are thinning. The defenders are getting weaker. More of his soldiers are making it up the ladders and surviving. The wall fighters seem fewer. Their resistance is weakening. Why? He can hear shouting from deep inside the city. Something about a general's orders. Something about retreating east. He doesn't know it yet, but the reason his siege is suddenly working is because I just kicked in the back door, and the entire Yuan army is now trying to run away from me instead of fighting him. You're welcome, Lan Yu. Again, Lan Yu figures out the defenders are weakening and goes absolutely ballistic. They're breaking. Push. Everyone push. His battering ram finally smashes through the west gate. Lan Yu charges in expecting a glorious last stand, and instead finds terrified civilian conscripts holding farming tools, being forced onto the walls at sore point by the rear guard. The real army is already running from me. Lan Yu's confused. Why are they retreating? They were fighting to the death 5 minutes ago, because I kicked in your back door 30 minutes ago. Genius. But sure, take your time figuring it out. Inside the city, I'm on Wufeng carving a highway of destruction straight toward the command palace. The streets are packed with fleeing Yuan soldiers, and my saber is doing what it does best, turning running men into dead men. Wufeng is an absolute beast, charging through formations like they're made of paper, and I'm swinging the tiger head saber in continuous arcs that mow down everything in reach. Then I spot it. Halishang's command banner, bobbing above a cluster of soldiers heading east. The big fish is trying to escape. He's got a serious escort. Shield wall formation surrounding him. Archers on the flanks. Spearmen screening the retreat. Professional. Organized. The kind of formation that would stop any normal cavalry charge cold. I am not normal cavalry. Charge slash. I hit the shield wall at full gallop. My saber, powered by over 3,000 points of strength plus internal energy, smashes through the shields like they're made of crackers. The entire formation explodes. Shields shatter, soldiers go flying, and suddenly there's a beautiful gap where an impenetrable wall used to be. Halishang looks back and sees me through the chaos. He recognizes Wufeng, Mangir's legendary horse that nobody could tame. That's the Cloud Peace Prince's warhorse. Which means yeah, it's me. The guy who killed your buddy Mangir. The boogeyman of the northern frontier. Small world. Retreat. Faster. Move. Halishang screams, pure terror in his voice. But there's 100 steps between us, walls of soldiers blocking my path, and he's on horseback heading for the exit. I could chase him, but by the time I cut through everyone between us, he'll be gone. From the other side, Lan Yu's army is pushing in from the west. He spots Halishang's banner too, and his eyes go wild with hunger. There he is. Kill him. Whoever gets him earns top merit. We're converging from two directions like the jaws of a trap, but Halishang is slipping through the middle. Time for something different. I pull Wufeng to a stop. Saber goes away. Out comes my treasure bow. One arrow. Knocked. Drawn. 3,000 points of strength pulling the bowstring to maximum. Internal energy flooding into the arrow, turning it into something that shouldn't exist in conventional warfare. Halishang glances back, and through the chaos of hundreds of soldiers between us, through the gaps between running bodies, he sees me, standing perfectly still on my horse, bow raised, eyes locked directly on him from over 100 steps away. The look in my eyes makes him go cold. Protect the general. One of his bodyguards spots the arrow and throws himself in front of Halishang. I release. The arrow doesn't just hit the bodyguard. It goes through him, clean through his armor and out the other side. Then it punches through a second guard. Then a third. Then a fourth. For armored men, pierced like they're wearing tissue paper. And the arrow still has enough force to slam into Halishang's chest, right through his heart. He looks down at the arrow sticking out of his torso. The same arrow that just penetrated 4 human bodies and 4 sets of armor before reaching him. And his last thought is, what kind of force could possibly? He falls off his horse. Dead. Killed Yuan Commander Halishang. 150 all attributes. Reward. 1 tier. 1 treasure chest. Beautiful. Chef's kiss. 1 arrow. 5 kills. 1 general eliminated. 1 tier. 1 chest earned. Now here's where it gets spicy. On the other side of the street, Lan Yu saw Halishang fall. He saw the arrow hit. And he's ecstatic. Someone shot Halishang. Who did it? Record the achievement. His soldiers look at each other blankly. None of them shot that arrow. The angle is wrong, the distance is wrong, and literally no Bao in their army could punch through 4 armored men. Lan Yu doesn't know it yet, but the arrow came from MY's side. From MY Bao. The kill credit belongs to me. I don't even pause to celebrate. Bao goes back, saber comes out, Wu Feng charges forward. Cavalry, follow me. Kill every Yuan soldier you can find. Thousands of my horsemen erupt in war cries and slam into the disintegrating Yuan forces. And that's when Lan Yu hears it, the thunder of cavalry, the war chants, the unmistakable sound of MY army, coming from the direction that arrow just flew from. The look on his face right now must be priceless. He just realized 3 things simultaneously. 1. I'm here. 2. I broke in through the east gate he didn't even know was compromised. 3. I just stole his kill from 100 paces away with a single arrow through 4 bodyguards. Gold City. I stole the city and the commander. Kaiyuan. I stole the commander and ruined his dramatic charge. The Huaishi faction's greatest general just got sniped, both literally and figuratively, by a 14-year-old on a stolen horse. I am having the best campaign of my life. Lan Yu spots my red-armored cavalry slaughtering Yuan soldiers on the other side of the battlefield, and his brain finally catches up to reality. Zhuing? It's him. Yeah, buddy. Surprise. I'm here. And that arrow that just killed your big prize? Mine. I don't even slow down. Saber out, Wu Feng charging, screaming at my boys to kill everything that moves. Meanwhile, the system is going absolutely nuts with notifications. And then, all attributes have broken 3,000 points. Reward, 1 tier, 1 treasure chest, 3,000. Across the board, I feel the power surge hit me like getting struck by divine lightning, except it feels amazing. Every muscle, every sense, every fiber of my being just jumped another tier. Fatigue? What fatigue? I could fight for a week straight right now. The Yuan army completely disintegrates after Halishang drops dead. Soldiers are screaming. That's Zhu-Ying, the one who killed the Cloud Peace Prince. Run. My name is now basically a psychological weapon. I don't even have to fight some of them. They just hear my name and surrender or flee. Night falls. The battle ends. Kaiyuan City belongs to the Ming Dynasty. And then comes the social portion of the evening, which honestly might be more dangerous than the actual war. We're all gathered outside the command palace waiting for General Feng Sheng, and I'm standing on one side with my boys while Lan Yu and his Huaishi gang are across from me shooting daggers with their eyes. This is the first time Lan Yu and I have met face to face. You're Zhuing. Lan Yu stares at me like I'm a bug he wants to squash. I pretend I have no idea who he is. And you are? I am the Marquis of Yongchang. Lan Yuo? The famous Marquis. My apologies for not recognizing you, sir. I give him a polite military salute. Just a military salute. Nothing extra. The bare minimum of respect. And Lan Yu knows exactly what that means. Then his attack dog speaks up. Chang Mao, son of the legendary General Chang Yechen, who inherited his father's duke title without inheriting any of his father's talent. Your unit was supposed to be at Gold City. Why are you here? You came to steal our glory. I smile pleasantly. General Fu sent me to reinforce you since Kaiyuan was proving difficult. And wow, good thing I came. You were really struggling with that front gate. Anyway, I broke the east gate, killed the enemy commander, and saved thousands of Ming soldiers' lives in the process. Same team. No need to thank me. Lan Yu's face turns the color of a bruised plum. I just told the most arrogant general in the Ming army that I rescued him. In front of everyone. While smiling. And then Chang Mao loses his mind completely. You shameless thief. I'll kill you. He charges me and throws a punch. An actual punch. At a guy with over 3,000 points of strength. In front of the entire officer corps. I catch his fist like I'm catching a tennis ball. His knuckles hit my palm and just stop. The look on his face when he realizes his hardest punch feels like a child slapping a brick wall. Priceless. General Chang, we're comrades. You can't just hit fellow officers. He throws his left fist. Okay, now I'm done being nice. I give him a light push. Light, by MY standards, which for him is basically getting hit by a horse. He goes flying backward and faceplants into the dirt. Full dog eats mud position. General Chang, I barely touched you. How can you be so fragile? Please control your temper. We're in the military after all. Chang Mao stands up looking like he wants to murder my entire bloodline. Lan Yu is standing behind him with a face like thunder. And every single non-Huaishi soldier in the vicinity is trying very hard not to laugh. Then Feng Sheng arrives. Chang Mao, what do you think you're doing? He absolutely eviscerates Chang Mao in front of everyone. You think military glory is about you? If Zhu Ying hadn't broken through the east gate, the defenders wouldn't have panicked. If they hadn't panicked, you'd still be dying on ladders trying to climb the west wall. How many more of our soldiers would have died so you could have your precious credit? Then the knife twist. If your father could see how stupid you're being, he'd be ashamed, invoking the dead dad. Feng Sheng does not play around. Chang Mao drops to his knees and accepts a 6-month pay doc on the spot. But his eyes are still burning holes in my skull. Then they bring out Halishang's body. Arrow through the heart. Feng Sheng admires the shot. Beautiful marksmanship. 1 arrow, instant kill. Who shot this? Lan Yu and his generals go dead silent. Nobody claims it because they all know it was me, and admitting it means officially recording my achievement. Zhang Wu steps forward, bursting with pride. Our General Zhu shot it, sir. He always fights at the front. And the arrow has his name carved on it. Feng Sheng pulls the arrow from Halishang's chest. 2 characters engraved on the shaft, Zichu, Ygenji. He looks at Lan Yu's silent, furious face, then back at the arrow, and smiles. Record all achievements accurately. Report everything to the capital. Then he adds, because he's a class act. Also record marquee Lan Yu's achievement in breaking the west gate. Fair. I'll give them that much. They did eventually get through the front door. It only took them a month and my help, but still. After Feng Sheng goes inside, I run into my old crew, Commander Bu Wan, General Chen Heng, and General Lu Zhen from Daning Command. These guys knew me back when I was a nobody. Bu Wan grabs my shoulder, beaming. You magnificent bastard. You've done Daning proud. Chen Heng is shaking his head in disbelief. Blood-washed the northern tribes, killed their chief, broke Gold City, killed a Yuan prince. Broke Kaiyuan, killed their commander. I'm genuinely an AWE. You make the rest of us look like amateurs. These guys used to be my superiors. Now they're looking at me with the kind of respect you give to someone who surpassed you. It's honestly touching. Let me do some accounting. In the last few days, I've broken 2 fortress cities, killed 3 enemy commanders, including a prince, pushed all my stats past 3,000, earned multiple treasure chests, got my name carved into military history, made Lan Yu wanna cry, made Chang Mao eat dirt, and earned enough merit for another promotion. All of this started because Zhao Yong and Wang Bai thought it would be funny to watch me fail at Gold City. Thanks, boys. Best career advice I ever got. After the military meeting, I finally get to catch up with my Daning crew, Bu Wan, Chen Heng, and Lu Zhen. These guys knew me when I was a nobody. Now they're looking at me like I'm a different species. But before we can properly reunite, the big moment arrives. Imperial Envoy. Bearing the Crown Prince's decree, 100 elite Imperial Guards roll up to the palace looking like the Secret Service in ancient Chinese armor. These aren't your regular soldiers. They're hand-picked killing machines who passed multiple rounds of screening to earn the right to guard. The Imperial family. They mean business. Feng Sheng immediately goes full protocol. All generals. Receive the envoy. Everyone drops to their knees. Even Lan Yu. Even Chang Mao. Because when the Crown Prince sends a message, you don't act cute. The guard captain looks around. Where is General Zhu Ying? Lan Yu and Chang Mao exchange a look that could freeze lava. Another reward. For Zhu Ying. Again. Their eyes are screaming. Are you kidding me? While their mouths stay respectfully shut. First decree. For breaking Gold City and killing Yuan Prince Manjier, Zhu Ying is promoted to vice commander. Authority over 5 battalions. Vice commander. 5 battalions. I just went from commanding 10,000 to commanding 25,000 soldiers. In 7 months of military service. Most generals wait a decade for this promotion and never get it. I bow. I accept with gratitude. Then the guard captain smiles. General Zhu, there's more? More? Even I'm surprised. And the Huaishi generals look like they're about to have aneurysms. Second decree. For extraordinary valor and service. Zhu Ying's noble title is elevated to hereditary county viscount, with all associated privileges and hereditary succession, 2 ranks up in nobility. From county baron straight past county baron senior to county viscount. Zhu Biao basically said, skip a grade, with my peerage. Hereditary County Viscount at not even 17 years old? This has never happened since the dynasty was founded. That's what every single person in this courtyard is thinking right now. Oh, and each decree gives me a treasure chest. 2 decrees, 2 normal chests. I'll take it. The guard captain also delivers Zhu Biao's orders about my restructuring. Whoever entered Gold City first between my 2 battalion commanders gets promoted to fill my old commissioner position. And I can work out the details with the Daning command. The Crown Prince is basically saying, organize your forces however you want. Trust. Lan Yu watches all this with the expression of a man chewing glass. Chang Mao looks like he might spontaneously combust. The Huaishi faction just watched their worst nightmare get officially upgraded by the highest authority in the empire. After the envoy leaves, Feng Sheng congratulates me genuinely. Then he assigns the next objective, Teeling City, Nahachu's central supply hub. Whoever takes it gets top merit. He lets both sides compete. Lan Yu's forces and the Daning army can race for it. Fair enough. Let the best army win. That night, Lan Yu, Chang Mao, and their buddy Hu Hai are drinking illegally in their tent, seething. That little thief stole our kill. How do we deal with him? Lan Yu's plan. We can't touch him openly. He's got imperial protection. But we can sabotage his supply lines. Hu Hai, you handle logistics. Delay everything going to Daning. Also, investigate his background. We don't even know where this kid came from. Shadow Games. Cute. Good luck with that when I've got a loyalty panel that literally shows me who's trustworthy and who's a plant. Meanwhile, in our camp, it's a completely different vibe. Bu Wan, Chun Hung, Lu Zhan, and I are having the warmest conversation of the entire campaign. Bu Wan wants to discuss my restructuring. I need to organize my new 5-battalion command. Keep my existing cavalry battalion, add a new infantry and archers battalion, plus a logistics battalion. Chun Hung immediately volunteers. I want to serve under General Zhu. Lu Zhan sputters. Hey? I was about to say that. You always beat me to it. Bu Wan assigns Chun Hung to my command, and Lu Zhan looks like a kid who didn't get picked for the team. But then Bu Wan drops the real bombshell. I'm a civilian administrator, not a military man. So effective immediately, I'm delegating all military command authority for the Daning border army to Zhu Ying. All 50,000 troops, strategic and tactical decisions go through him. My eyes go wide. Chun Hung and Lu Zhan's jaws drop. Bu Wan just handed me de facto command of the entire Daning military. 50,000 soldiers. Not on paper. On paper, he's still the boss. But in practice, every military decision goes through me. I went from random conscript to secretly commanding 50,000 troops in 7 months. The Shin family threw me away like garbage. And now I'm a viscount, a vice commander, and the shadow general of an entire frontier army. Happy New Year to me. Bu Wan just dropped a nuke on the power structure. He's handing me military command of the entire Daning border army, 50,000 troops, while he keeps the title on paper. I try to refuse because, humility, but he waves me off. I'm a civilian administrator. I don't know how to fight wars. You do. And frankly, these Huaishi jerks have been sidelining our troops for months. We haven't gotten a single combat assignment, just supply runs and cleanup duty. Our soldiers are furious. Every war council, the Huaishi generals talk over us before we can even open our mouths. Chun Hung backs him up. They control the food, the weapons, the equipment. If you don't play ball with Huaishi, they starve you out. They don't even respect General Feng Sheng half the time. Bu Wan gets serious and pulls me aside for the real talk. You understand what the emperor is doing, right? By promoting you, building a counterweight to Huaishi. Exactly. And that means Lan Yu will treat you as a political enemy, not just a rival. Watch your back, I nod. But honestly, these Huaishi generals are walking dead men on a historical timeline they can't see. I know what's coming for them. Zhu Yuanzhang's purges will wipe them all out eventually. I just need to stay alive long enough to watch it happen from a safe distance. Bu Wan gives me one more warning about hidden daggers, and I tell him straight. I'm not afraid of them. And I mean it. With 3,000 stats across the board, I could fight my way out of any assassination attempt blindfolded. After the meeting, I get back to my tent, wash up, and settle in for the main event. Treasure chest opening session. 8 boxes total. 5 tier. 1, 3 normal. My best haul ever. Let's go. Normal chests first. Warm-up round. 800 gold. Cool. I already have enough gold to buy a small country, but sure, add it to the pile. A night luminous pearl. Fist-sized, glows like moonlight. I pull it out, and my entire tent lights up brighter than any candle. After months of squinting and flickering candlelight, this thing is basically medieval electricity. Luxury. 20 bottles of premium hemostatic powder. Practical. My wounded soldiers need these. Now the tier 1 chests. Deep breath. Here we go. Chest 1. Fire Arrow War Chariot. Complete blueprints. Over 100 crossbow cannons mounted on a single vehicle, powered by gunpowder. This weapon isn't supposed to exist for decades. Against cavalry charges? Devastating. Add it to my growing collection of things that shouldn't be invented yet. Chest 2. Mysterious Grade Lower Rank Technique. Postnatal Mysterious Art. This is only my second mysterious grade item ever. It's an internal cultivation method. 15 internal energy and 15 spirit per day of practice. If my horizontal training is the body workout, this is the mind workout. External and internal, perfectly balanced. Chest 3, the big one. Yellow grade upper rank inheritance. Zhuge Mechanism Arts. I stare at this for a solid 10 seconds. This is Zhuge Liang's engineering legacy. The Zhuge Liang, the sleeping dragon, the greatest strategist in Chinese history. His lost mechanical arts, the wooden ox and flowing horse transport system, the Zhuge repeating crossbow, and dozens of other inventions that were lost to history for over 1,000 years. The knowledge floods into my mind, and it takes me a long time to process it all, even with my superhuman mental stats. This isn't just military tech, it's engineering, agriculture, logistics, construction. Mechanisms that could revolutionize everything. Chancellor Zhuge, your legacy is safe with me. I will make your inventions change the world again. This single chest is worth more than everything else combined. With the Zhuge Mechanism Arts plus my modern knowledge plus the gunpowder and flintlock blueprints I already have, I'm sitting on enough technological advancement to build a civilization centuries ahead of its time. Chest 4. 10 stalks of 100-year ginseng. Rare medicinal treasure. Save for later. Chest 5. 7-star precious saber. Yellow grade lower rank. A 3-foot war blade made of what looks like frozen iron, so sharp that hair would split on the edge. Not the strongest weapon I have, but it's a proper belt saber, perfect for close combat on foot when the tigerhead saber is. Too massive. My weapon loadout is now complete. Tigerhead saber for mounted devastation, green rainbow sword for formal occasions, and 7-star saber for everyday murder. A tool for every situation. Let me check the stats after all this. Internal energy, 3,068 strength, 3,145 speed, 3,122 constitution, 3,112 endurance, 3,123 spirit, 3,084 lifespan, 112 years 28,212 days. Roughly 189 years total. Storage, 39 cubic meters. I am 14 years old, and I have enough lifespan to see the year 2050 if I wanted to. Every battle makes me live longer. I am the exact opposite of a normal soldier. Feeling generous, I call Lu Lei in and hand him my old steel saber and short blade, the weapons that carried me through the northern steppe and Gold City. They're not magical ranked weapons, but by normal military standards they're exceptional blades. Lu Lei's eyes go wide. Sir, these are your weapons. I can't. I've got better ones now. Take them. Thank you, General. He walks out clutching those sabers like they're made of diamonds. Within seconds I hear him outside bragging to the other guards. The General gave me his personal weapons. That's right, jealous? Good. This man has 100% loyalty to me and zero chill about showing off. I love it. As I lie in bed, I start thinking about the future. My personal guards, all 400 of them now, are completely loyal. What if I taught them the horizontal training technique? It won't make them superhuman like me, but even a small boost to their strength and constitution would make them elite warriors. My private army within the army. The Shin family is still out there. Uncle Lin and Yuer are somewhere in Daning looking for me. Lan Yu is plotting sabotage, and I'm sitting on a gold mine of lost technology, ancient martial arts, and enough wealth to fund a revolution. 7 months ago, I was a disposable conscript. Now I command 50,000 troops, hold a hereditary noble title, possess weapons and knowledge from across Chinese history, and have the personal combat power of a mythological war god. And I'm 14. The future is going to be absolutely incredible. While I'm out here conquering cities and opening treasure chests, my hemostatic powder formula is making waves across the entire geopolitical landscape without me even being there. First up, Liaoyang City, Nahacha's capital. The man himself, the Grand Commander of Yuan Liaodong, the guy everyone keeps comparing to a legendary strategist, is sitting on his throne looking like someone just told him his house burned down. Twice. Gold City gone. 7 of 8,000 troops lost. Kaiyuan gone. 6,000 survivors out of 60,000. Someone explained to me how my impregnable defense line collapsed in a month. Dead silence. Nobody wants to be the one to answer that question. His intelligence chief, a guy named Guantong, steps forward with a report. Sir, both cities fell because of one Ming general. Name, Zhu Ying. He's also the one who destroyed the Jurchen tribes. How old is he? Not yet 17. How long has he been in the military? Less than 1 year. And his rank, regional commissioner. Commands 10,000. Has a noble title. The entire room of Yuan generals goes through the 5 stages of grief in about 3 seconds. First, they assume I must be imperial royalty. No way a commoner rises that fast. Then Nahacha drops the bomb. He's a commoner. Regular civilian background. Rose entirely on merit. The room goes cold. Because they understand what that means. The Ming dynasty has built a system where a random peasant kid can become a general in 7 months through pure battlefield performance. The Yuan dynasty? You need noble blood just to get considered for command. Their empire is crumbling because it can't promote talent, and the Ming Empire is thriving because it can. Nahachu stares at my intelligence file and whispers, "Why does heaven give such talent to the enemy?" Poetic. Also, slightly dramatic. But I appreciate the compliment, sir. He decides to go on offense. Passive defense clearly isn't working against a guy who can cut through city gates with a saber. He also sends for reinforcements from Korea and the Jurchen tribes. The new Jurchen chief, Shijianu, sends back a letter, written in blood saying, "We totally still love the Yuan Empire, but we're too beaten up to fight right now. Give us 5 months. Nahachu reads between the lines. The Jurchens are trying to slip his leash and threatens to destroy them if they don't show up in 5 months. Meanwhile, back in Beiping, Zhu Di is reading MY updated intelligence file and having another existential crisis. He broke Gold City and Kaiyuan. Promoted to vice commander. County viscount. At 16. Yao Guangxiao, clicking his prayer beads. Worried he'll be your enemy someday. If I can't recruit him? Absolutely. My father and brother are building him into the military's next pillar. Once the Huaishi generals fall, which you keep promising me they will, this Zhu Ying will fill the gap. That makes my future plans considerably harder. Then Yao Guangxiao mentions the hemostatic powder. He donated a priceless military medicine to the empire without asking for anything in return. That's not generosity, that's genius. By asking for nothing, he gets everything. Your father will value him even more. Zhu Di nods darkly. I know my father. If Zhu Ying had demanded payment, father would have respected him less. By refusing reward, he becomes untouchable. That formula is his permanent life insurance. As long as it saves soldiers' lives, the emperor can never dispose of him. These two are analyzing my political moves like I'm playing 4D chess. Which, honestly, I kind of am, but it's nice to know my opponents recognize the game. And then, the main event. The imperial court in the capital. The head of the Imperial Medical Bureau, Dai Sigong, literally the most famous doctor in the Ming dynasty, a man no official dares offend, is standing in front of the entire court with a white rabbit and a knife. He has a guard slash the rabbit's leg. Blood everywhere. Then he sprinkles my hemostatic powder on the wound. The bleeding stops in seconds. The wound starts closing. The powder forms a scab right before everyone's eyes. Every single person in that throne room is staring with their mouths open. Your Majesty, Dai Sigong announces, practically shaking with excitement. This hemostatic powder is a miracle drug. It surpasses every medicine I have ever created in my entire career. It stops bleeding rapidly, accelerates wound healing, and treats infected wounds. If deployed across our military, soldier survival rates will increase by at least 40%. Zhu Yuanzhang's eyes go wide. This is a man who fought in the trenches, who watched countless soldiers bleed to death in field hospitals. He knows what a 40% survival increase means. It means tens of thousands of soldiers who would have died will live instead. Die, are you certain? This powder is better than your gold wound medicine. I stake my life on it, Your Majesty. This is the greatest wound treatment medicine in the known world. It should be classified as a supreme state secret. No foreign nation can be allowed to obtain this formula. The court is stunned. The most respected medical authority in the empire just called my family's secret recipe, which is actually a video game system drop, the single most important pharmaceutical breakthrough in Chinese military history. And somewhere on a battlefield in Liaodong, covered in dried blood, riding a legendary black stallion with 3,000 stats and a storage dimension full of royal treasure, the 14-year-old kid who donated this formula is about to get another round of imperial rewards. The Shin family threw me away to die in obscurity. Now the emperor is demonstrating my medicine to the entire imperial court like it's the most important invention since gunpowder. I couldn't write this story better if I tried. Actually, wait, I am living this story, and it just keeps getting better. So the imperial court just watched a rabbit get sliced open and healed in real time by my hemostatic powder, and the most famous doctor in the entire Ming dynasty, Dai Sigong, the guy no official dares to cross, is standing there practically crying with excitement. Your Majesty, I stake my life on this. This powder is the greatest wound medicine in the world. It makes my own gold wound formula look like dirt. 40% more soldiers will survive. It should be classified as a supreme state secret. Zhu Yuanzhang's brain is doing the math. 40% more survivors means tens of thousands of soldiers who would have died in field hospitals will now live. Across every future campaign, every border skirmish, every war, thousands of families who won't get the "we regret to inform you" letter because of my powder. Heaven blesses the great Ming. The emperor is laughing so hard the walls are shaking. He's happier about this than when I broke Gold City. And I broke Gold City with a sword. Zhu Biao steps up. Father, Zhu Ying donated this formula without asking for anything. We can't let that generosity go unrewarded. Agreed. What do you propose? And then Zhu Biao says the words that make every minister in the room choke on their own spit. Elevate Zhu Ying to hereditary earl, and grant him the noble epithet, champion. The court goes dead silent. Earl, that's above viscount, above baron. That's sitting at the big table nobility. And the title, champion, Ganjin, isn't just a word. It's the most prestigious military epithet in Chinese history, named after Hua Zubing, the teenage general who conquered the northern steppes 2,000 years ago. Nobody has carried that title since. It's the military equivalent of being called the GOAT. Ministers are having full existential crises in real time. He's not even 17, and he's an ERL. I've been in government for 30 years, and I don't even have a baron title. Does he have a wife? My daughter is 14. Is that close enough? We need to befriend this kid immediately. He's going to be running this empire in 10 years. Nobody objects. Because opposing what the emperor and the crown prince both want is basically volunteering for the execute my entire family raffle. Zhu Yuanzhang makes it official. Zhu Ying is hereby elevated to hereditary earl, titled champion. Annual stipend of 300 stone, 5,000 gold bonus, and a mansion in Daning. All hail the emperor's wisdom, champion earl. Champion earl. I went from kid the Shin family threw in the trash to holder of the most legendary military title in Chinese history in 7 months. Later, in the private study, Zhu Yuanzhang and Zhu Biao have a conversation that would make my head spin if I could hear it. Zhu Yuanzhang. That champion title was quite the gift, son. Zhu Biao. The formula alone justifies it. Every soldier this medicine saves for the next 1,000 years is a debt the empire owes Zhu Ying. Besides, it sends a message to the Huaishi generals. You're replaceable. Zhu Yuanzhang. Getting serious. Speaking of Huaishi, if it weren't for your sake, I would have executed Lan Yu years ago. That man's crimes, embezzling land, abusing civilians, I know everything. He thinks I don't. He's alive because you asked me to spare him. Zhu Biao. I can control them, father. And now with Zhu Ying as a counterweight, they'll feel the pressure and behave. Then, and this is where it gets wild, the emperor casually drops. Your daughter Yunling is 12 now, right? Zhu Biao. Yes? Zhu Ying is quite the catch. Wouldn't he make a fine son-in-law? The emperor wants me to marry a princess. Not just any princess. Zhu Yunling, the legitimate daughter of Crown Prince Zhu Biao and his deceased first wife, who was the daughter of the legendary General Chang Yechen. This girl is as blue-blooded as it gets in the Ming dynasty. Zhu Biao doesn't reject the idea. She's only 12, too young now. But in 2 years, if Zhu Ying proves himself worthy, I'll consider the match. If this happens, I won't just be a general. I'll be imperial family. The crown prince's son-in-law, connected by blood to the throne itself. Meanwhile, in the East Palace, consort Lu, Zhu Biao's second wife, mother of Zhu Yunwen, the future emperor who gets overthrown by Zhu Di, hears about the potential marriage, and her political brain goes into overdrive. On one hand, she's worried because Yunling is the legitimate daughter, and marrying her to a powerful general strengthens the legitimate children's faction over her sons. On the other hand, if she can get her own son Zhu Yunwen close to me first, she can potentially recruit me as an ally for her side. She immediately tells Zhu Biao, "Oh, Yunwen has heard so much about General Zhu. He desperately wants to meet this national hero and learn from him." Zhu Biao approves, not seeing the political chess move hidden in the flattery. And somewhere on a battlefield in Liaodong, completely unaware that the emperor wants me to marry his granddaughter, that a consort is plotting to recruit me, that I now hold the most prestigious military title in 1,000 years of Chinese history, and that I've been given a mansion. I'm probably sitting on Wufeng, covered in blood, checking my stat panel, and wondering when the next treasure chest is coming. Champion Earl Zhu Ying, 14 years old, 7 months of service. The Shin family must be having nightmares right now, and they don't even know the half of it yet. So while I'm out here living my best life as the newly minted champion Earl of the Ming dynasty, the political chess game back in the capital is getting absolutely wild, and I don't even know about any of it. First, Zhu Biao personally fast-tracks my hemostatic powder into mass production. He issues an imperial decree ordering the royal pharmacy to drop everything and start churning out my formula. Unlimited drug supply budget. Direct shipment to the front lines. The Crown Prince is treating my powder like it's a national emergency, which, for wounded soldiers, it basically is. But the real drama is happening in the East Palace, where Consort Lu is playing 4D chess with my future marriage. See, the emperor casually suggested marrying me to Princess Yunling, Zhu Biao's eldest legitimate daughter. But Lu managed to slip in an alternative. Princess Yunying, the younger legitimate daughter who happens to be the one she raised. Why? Because if Yunying marries me, then my loyalty gets funneled toward her faction instead of the legitimate children's camp. Zhu Biao, bless his honest heart, doesn't see the manipulation and says, "Sure, we'll consider both girls, you handle the details." Lu just won a massive political victory. With one sentence, she now controls which princess gets offered to me, which means she controls whether I become an ally or an enemy in the succession fight. And poor little Yunying, 10 years old, gets summoned to Lu's chambers and is terrified. This child is literally shaking when she kneels. Lu looks at her with cold eyes and announces she's assigning tutors for literature and etiquette training. Not out of kindness, out of investment. She's preparing this girl to be presented to me like a political gift box. Meanwhile, Lu's son, Zhu Yunwen, future emperor, future loser of a civil war, is being coached. Befriend Zhu Ying at all costs. He's the military's rising star, and you need him on your side. Yunwen nods obediently. Good kid. Terrible future emperor. But that's a problem for later. And now, the moment I've been waiting for without even knowing it. Cut 2. Beiping. The Shun family mansion. The people who ruined my life. Old man Shen Wansan. The merchant patriarch who tricked me into military conscription to cancel our family's marriage arrangement, is sitting in his study with his useless sons, discussing how to permanently eliminate Uncle Lin and Yuer. Any news from the assassins? They've tracked Lin Fu and the girl to Huizhou City, but it's crawling with military patrols. Can't get close. Keep watching. Kill them when there's an opening. These scum sent hitmen after my family. The mysterious figures lurking outside the city gates that night? Shin family assassins. They've been following Uncle Lin and Ewer across hundreds of miles waiting for the right moment to silence them permanently. But then the family butler walks in looking like he just saw a ghost. Sir, there's a rumor from Daning. A young general named Zhu Ying has become the most famous soldier in the border army. Killed hundreds personally, destroyed Jurchen tribes, broke fortified cities, got promoted to commander of 10,000 troops, received a noble title from the emperor himself. Dead. Silence. Shin Wansan's face goes white. Did you say? Zhu Ying? Yes, sir. The general's name is Zhu Ying. You're saying this general, this war hero that the emperor personally favors, is the same Zhu Ying that I don't know for certain, sir. Shin Wansan's sons immediately go into denial mode. Impossible. That kid was a nobody. He could brew decent wine, but that's it. There's no way he survived a real battlefield. He's dead for sure. It's obviously a different Zhu Ying. China has millions of people. Same names happen all the time. Definitely a coincidence. No chance it's him. They're saying all this with the frantic energy of people who are terrified it might actually be true, but desperately need it not to be. Because if the kid they betrayed, tricked, and tried to get killed is now a general with a noble title in the emperor's favor, then the Shun family didn't just make an enemy. They made a nightmare. Shin Wansan is the only one smart enough to be properly scared. He's an old fox. He survived the fall of the Yuan dynasty and the rise of the Ming. He knows what happens when you anger someone with real power. But his sons? They're in full, it can't be him. It's fine, everything is fine mode. Classic denial. The kind of denial that gets entire families executed in Imperial China. And the best part? They're still sending assassins after Uncle Lin and Ewer. Still trying to tie up loose ends. Still operating under the assumption that I'm a dead teenager rotting in a ditch somewhere. Meanwhile, the dead teenager is a champion earl commanding 50,000 troops with superhuman abilities, the emperor's personal backing, and a growing list of people who need to be dealt with. The Shin family wanted me to disappear. Oh, I'm going to appear all right. And when I do, they're going to wish they'd never heard the name Zhu Ying. But first, they need to finish convincing themselves it's definitely a coincidence. Let them sleep peacefully for a few more weeks. The reckoning tastes better when they don't see it coming. Meanwhile, back at the Shin family mansion, the denial is thicker than their city walls. Shin Wansan and his useless sons are sitting around desperately convincing themselves that the famous General Zhu Ying is not the same Zhu Ying they betrayed. It's like watching a group of criminals reassure each other that the detective knocking on their door is probably just selling cookies. It can't be him. He was just a kid who could brew wine. Definitely a different person. Same name. Total coincidence. China has millions of people. Obviously, there's another Zhu Ying. Old Man Shun is the only one with enough brain cells to be properly terrified, but even he talks himself down. No commoner rises that fast without connections. This general is probably imperial royalty using the same name. Our Zhu Ying had no martial ability whatsoever. Buddy, your Zhu Ying currently has over 3,000 points in every physical stat and can cut through city gates with a sword. But sure, keep telling yourself he's ability-less. Shin Wansan orders his steward to investigate whether it's the same person, and also orders his assassins to keep stalking Uncle Lin and Ewer. Kill them when there's an opening. This family is simultaneously investigating whether I'm a powerful general and trying to murder my family. The cognitive dissonance is spectacular. If I am the general, they're literally sending hitmen after the loved ones of the most dangerous man in northern China. Galaxy brain strategy right there. But enough about those clowns. Let's talk about what I'm actually doing. 10 days since Kaiyuan fell, and my Daning border army is on an absolute rampage across Liaodong. 3 cities conquered in 10 days. I'm leading from the front on Wufeng, tiger head saber carving through defenders like they're made of warm butter. The system notifications are basically a constant stream now. 10 strength, 10 days, 10 internal energy. I've killed over 3,000 enemies personally, and the number keeps climbing. My latest conquest, Qingcheng, a small city that didn't even put up a real fight because the Yuan soldiers saw my cavalry coming and started screaming, "It's the Ming killing God's army. Run!" before we even reached the gates. They tried to flee inside the city, but their own retreating troops blocked the gate from closing. I rode Wufeng straight through the mess. unleashed a charged slash at the gate that killed a dozen men in one swing. The shockwave of internal energy literally ruptured their organs through their armor, and my cavalry flooded in behind me. City fell in minutes. Chen Heng is having the time of his life. After months of being relegated to supply duty by the Huaishi generals, the man is finally on a real battlefield, and he's glowing. General, this is incredible. 3 cities in 10 days. The brothers are more motivated than ever. Before you came, we were doing laundry and hauling grain. Now we're conquering. Meanwhile, Lan Yu's force, which has 50,000 more troops than mine, has only taken 2 cities. My cavalry-heavy army is outpacing them because we move faster. Horses beat feet. Simple math. I check in on the war room situation. The race to Teeling, Nahachu's supply hub, is on. Whoever takes it gets top merit. With our speed advantage, I'm confident we'll get there first. After issuing orders for the troops to rest, a guard walks in with unexpected news. Sir, there's a garrison soldier from Huizhou City requesting an audience.